Hello, all. Um, Thanks for joining. We're live. I think everything's working. I see chat. I see Mike. Before we get into today's topic, I would like to address a pretty large development to one of the things that we talked about earlier in the week. Jason Arday, Cambridge's youngest black professor, was found dead at age 41. His family is implying, unfortunately, it may have been, by his own hand. The first thing I did was disable ads on the video, obviously, and the live stream. So that's not like a story I'm going to be like making any money from. That's not the point of that. That literally was not the point at all. And I was just really, really horrified to hear that that had happened. I don't want to say too much more about it, but yeah. Someone said the news outlets are ruthless. Yeah, a lot of that was just obviously racism. Uh, I mean, as I said, it was a racist hate campaign against him. It doesn't matter if someone did something wrong. I think we can all agree they obviously don't deserve that. Um, so yeah, I'm really, really sorry that this has happened. Someone said, please don't blame yourself. Blame, I'm not, it's not about me is how I feel. I just have to take responsibility for the things I did do, which I feel like profiting off of the story at this point is not something I can do in good conscience. So I do want to say, if you see an ad on there, it's not me. It's not something I'm making money off of. Sometimes YouTube will run ads on demonetized videos, which is annoying, but yeah. Someone said, I hate how it all turned out. Yeah, that was absolutely the worst possible outcome. Someone said, I hope his family is able to grieve in peace without too much speculation or anything. Yeah, I feel like at this point, the story is over, and I can already see this. I mean, everybody's being, I don't know, sorry. I have mixed feelings about that, but yeah. Someone said, I didn't watch the video. Do I need to watch it to understand this stream? Genuine question. I'm sorry if this comes off as insensitive. I'm confused. I don't think you're being insensitive. And no, this stream is not about Jason Arday. It's just something I wanted to mention in the beginning, just to let you all know I had seen that a couple hours after it was announced. Somebody said, may he rest in peace. I appreciate you starting the stream with us. Yeah, I mean, it was important to me. I don't know. Someone said, did I miss the convo topic? No, I've only been live for about 7 minutes, so we are going to keep going. As always, it is what it is. Someone in chat said, to be fair, I think you presented a very balanced version of the events and didn't sensationalize it. I genuinely tried to. When I make a video about anybody, it's not because I want something like this to happen. I think a lot of the people who were talking about this did want something like this to happen, which is really disturbing. And so for a moment, I did have to stop and think about my place in the story. But the truth of the matter is, like, I'm leaving the video up because was part of it. He did what he did, and people reacted the way they did. I reacted in a way where I thought I was mostly just showing that I thought multiple things were true in the scenario, and really just how people were trying to dehumanize him was my point, even if someone has done something wrong. So I want that video to stay there so you can see what I did say. I did it. I made it. Someone says other videos I've seen have been so hateful. Yeah, that sucks, man. Like, talking about something in a way where you're literally trying to approach this in a human way amid a crowd of people who literally like want what happened. I don't know. I hate. It is what it is. Anyways, someone in chat said people who have done worse in academia have literally moved on with their lives intact. I said that at the end of the video too, of how we absolutely did not see this sort of media pushback for literal professors at Cambridge, the very same place, who were getting ousted or in trouble for like sexual harassment, assault, etc. Like, it's just so clear to me the double standard that is and will always be there. Anyway, sorry, I feel like I'm just kind of I feel like I'm thinking in circles, but I do just kind of want to, if we can, end the discussion right here. I don't really want to bring that up again. I think I said everything I said about the things he had done, and the only thing I have to say about him being gone is I'm genuinely just sorry to his family. And yeah, and then there's just no more money to be made from this. This is literally never the point of these videos. But yeah, I would just like to talk about today's topic, if that's all good with you. And if anybody comes in asking about it, just direct them to the beginning of the stream, and I would appreciate that. Thank you. Oof, okay. Anyways, while we're here, sorry. It's a hard thing to say anyways after, actually. You know what I mean? I don't know. You just have to be careful. I just tried to process most of this beforehand. It's just... Someone said the Telegraph was running an ad on Twitter linked to articles about him. Yeah, no, I guess one thing I didn't cover in my video, because I literally didn't realize, was how heinously hateful the media in Britain was being. I'm not trying to do a US better, Britain better. We're all going to lose. My point is, like, literally the Telegraph and a few other British publications, it was just like hourly stories about this man. And a lot of the things weren't even based on fact. It was quote unquote anonymous sources, and just day and night a level of scrutiny that simply and obviously was motivated by other things. I don't know, man. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that for now. I want to just move on from that topic. Someone said thank you for addressing his passing. I feel like it's only right, honestly. Well, we're here to talk about katseye. So, big topic shift. I was trying to be respectful. I'm warning you, I'm not going to be respectful for the remainder of the stream, because now I'm talking about Hybe and Geffen, who are Katseye's like management, their parent company. It's nothing but drama and pain from here on out. So yeah, different vibe here. If you have been watching my streams for a while, you will know that the katseye topic has actually been a long time coming. In fact, when I say a long time, I mean I literally started writing a katseye video in 2024. Someone said, "What's katseye?" You're just in time. Sit down. I mean, you're probably already sitting. They're a K-pop. Well, okay, hold on, wait. I have to be careful about this. They're a global girl group that is managed in part by a K-pop company, and they used like basically the K-pop formula, but condensed into a really fast version to assemble all of these girls and create like this viral sensation that is katseye. So their music pops off on TikTok with Gen Alpha probably. But unfortunately, everything from the very beginning of katseye, not even before katseye was a thing, before we had these 6 members, from the very inception of the group as a competition Netflix show, which is how they started, to now where they are literally losing members left and right. I mean, I say that, but that's only 2 members, but also that's like 33% of the group. I shouldn't say they're losing members. They're still here. They're just on hiatus. It has just been plagued by so much mishandling from their upper management, so much confusion between the fan base and trying to understand what the helly the point is of these songs, these weird songs that they're putting out. So I want to talk about that. I also just frankly think the sexualization aspect of the group has gotten ridiculous. Ridiculous. I think someone said, will you talk about Manon? Yes, we will. I think me as like a dude, I'm usually pretty slow to come online and point to things that a bunch of women are doing and being like, oh gosh, sexualization. It's not even for me. It's not my body. I don't think my take usually matters in conversations on sexualization. But let me tell you this. I'm gonna have an opinion if you have somebody who literally just turned 18 in a video where we're cropping their heads out of the frames and literally just zooming in on like their chests and their hips and stuff while they're throwing it back, talking about they want their Hootie Fruity dipped in chocolate or what. Dude, it's actually crazy. Okay, listen. I do think at one point we have to come together and just say, this is bad. There's a line we have to draw, and katseye is so far beyond it at this point. So yeah, it's disgusting. And one thing that I think I want to point out is I don't blame any of the members of katseye. A lot of the discussion on this group is like, oh, we hate... Wait, I need to make sure I'm saying her name correctly. It's like Manon, like with a soft N, I believe. A lot of the discussion is like, we hate this member, Manon. Oh no, we actually hate this member, Sophia. No, we hate this other member. Coming into katseye discourse, having hatred for any one specific katseye member is literally levels of terminally online that I just think are unhinged. It's not their fault. Yes, at this point, everybody's over 18, obviously, but all of these people, well, half of them were minors when the group started, and they all are under contract with Hybe and Geffen, so I absolutely have the majority of smoke for the people around katseye who are making these disturbing decisions. People are saying the last N is silent, so it's like Mano, I guess. Is that correct? I'm going to look it up. No, katseye pronunciation. I don't want the AI to answer. Okay, yeah, that seems to be right. You right. Mano is, and the second syllable would be what's the word I'm looking for? Like emphasized? Wait, this seems like an AI video. I don't want to watch this one. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say Mano, and I think that hopefully that should be respectful, because I hate people misspelling my name when you can easily look it up. I hate people mispronouncing names, you can easily look it up. So it's Mano, Sophia, Daniela, Yunche, Lara? Is that how you say her name? And one other person. I'm not being shady. Sophia? Did I say her? I don't know. There's 6 members. There's 6 members. Someone says it's more like a French nom. So it's like, so like the N is kind of there, but not very there. Someone says she made a video saying it. Hold on. I want that. Katseye Manon saying her own name. Give me that, please. Yes. Thank you, YouTube user Katseye Simp. Okay, we're about to learn today. Hold on. We're actually about to learn today. Let me turn this up so we can actually hear this joint. Probably 300 is fine. All right, take it away. It's muted. Does anybody... I don't hear anything. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, wait, hold on. Is it on God muted? Why? Volume master. Okay, I don't think that's the problem. No tabs playing audio right now? No, there are tabs playing audio. But we can't hear the audio. I can see. It's completely grayed out. What? Hold on, chat. This is sussy. My audio is completely grayed out, and I don't even have the ability to change it. Okay, hold on. I mean, it's better to find out now than when we're in the middle of the actual stream. But I do see her saying Mano. There's captions on screen right here. It says wait, say it again. Oh, never mind. I didn't go to the right spot. She says, Mano, according to the captions. Okay, chat, I'm gonna have to probably high-key restart. Not the stream, thankfully, but this PC right here. Something is very iffy with the audio. Restart. We'll just give that a second. We'll give that one a second. Someone said, please actually watch it. I'm going to watch it. That's why I'm restarting the computer. Someone said Mano's not lazy. No, I don't think she is. We're going to talk about the Mano lazy discourse. Also, if you're new to the stream, thank you. For joining. The first 30 minutes of the stream are exactly what you're getting right now, which is literally just a yap session. And then around the 30-minute mark, that's when we get into today's topic, which will obviously be katseye and their whole host of problems, which there are a lot. Someone said, God forbid a woman puts her health first. Yeah, no, the Mano discourse really pisses me off. And then it's so convenient how another member announces her hiatus and I don't see people reacting with the lazy allegations. But alas. Okay. I think we got audio now, chat. I think I fixed it. Hold on. Mano katseye saying her own name. Take 2. Katseye simp YouTube channel, come through for us, please. Please. I hear her. I hear something. Hold on, wait. We're about to be educated. Okay. Take 2, baby. Manon. Okay, I don't think I can do that second syllable correctly, so I really hope that if I say Manon, that doesn't sound insane. Oh god, the nuance with which she hit that second syllable. Manon, I think. Manon from katseye. That's all you're gonna get. Someone says she's cutting out. Wait, you guys can't hear? What? I can hear. How can you guys not hear? Okay, let me take 2 and try to see. I don't think it's ever been a thing where I can hear easily, but you guys can't. Someone said it glitched. We heard blips. Someone said it's okay. Is it okay now? Can you guys... It's still glitchy? What the... Okay, let me play something else. Katseye interview. We'll just pull an interview. And you all tell me if this audio sounds chopped or not. Tell me if we're cooked, chat, because I genuinely... I can't hear what you all are hearing. Is that audio fine? Or were you guys were saying it was like lagging and glitching or something? Blips? What does that mean? It's the same. Chopped. Okay. Well, dang. I don't really know how to fix this off the top of my head. We literally can't record if I can't adjust this properly. So I'm scared, chat. Someone said chopped city. Dang, what is going on? So my output device is this Elgato capture card, which I feel like should be working fine. And I don't even have any other options for output devices, because I don't have any speakers. I don't really want to unplug this because I fear that the entire stream is going to stop, which is going to be really bad. Someone said turn it off and back on again. I don't know that it's going to work. I mean, you know what? You're right. I turned it off one time, and then because it wasn't working at all. Then I turned it on the second time, and now you can hear, but it sounds terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and restart my computer a third time. And then we're going to cross our fingers that the audio is not borked, as one person in chat put it. What is going on, bro? What is going on? Someone says, why does your me have hair? Because I used to have a lot of hair. I had so much hair in my head, and now I don't got none. Someone says, I'm worried you're going to have to full restart. I would vastly prefer not to have to do a full restart. I really don't like restarting the stream. But hey, we'll do what we got to do for good audio. There's literally so many audio clips here. One audio, which I hate that I even have to share with you. Here's like a terrible teaser. We're going to talk about how in Katseye's song Gnarly, which was released, I'm actually positive, when one of the members was still a minor, the producers were bragging on TikTok about how they sampled porn audio. There's literally just like a little ad lib in the song where it's like, it sounds like a woman moaning, and you hear it when you listen to the song and you're just like, and yeah, they literally were online like, oh yeah, we'll show you the full clip, and then they extend it and it's just this like 10-second moaning clip of obviously someone having sex, which is like, there's something awry with the way Katseye is being managed. Okay, there's something very off about their target demographic versus the age of the group members versus like the adult nature of the things that's going into their checks. It's just odd. And I also saw people online trying to say that like everyone was overreacting and that's not that big of a deal. And I saw people saying great things like, oh my god, you guys are saying minor as if Yoon Chae is like 12 or something. She's 17, guys. Stop freaking out that they put porn audio in the production of her song. And I'm like, y'all are borrowing talking points that they use to dismiss like Epstein victims. Like, I'm not trying to be dramatic. I just think it's a pretty terrible thing to ever sit behind your keyboard and say, oh my gosh, why are you acting like being a minor is such a big deal? She's almost 18. Maybe don't ever do that. If you ever find yourself wanting to defend something by pointing out that somebody won't be a minor forever, don't do that, please. Please don't do that. Okay, anyways. So we're back online, and I'm gonna see, once again, we're gonna pull a Katseye interview clip and just see. I really, 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 really hope that I really hope this doesn't sound bad, because if it is, I might have to restart the stream, and that's going to be painful. Hold on, I'm going to turn it up so you can hear. Then again, I just realized it might also be my volume plugin that could be messing it up for you guys. I don't know. How did that sound? I'm so still chopped. Oh man. Why? Okay. This sucks so bad. Chat, I'm gonna have to start unplugging things, and it is possible that the stream may end. if the stream ends, someone said try pulling up your own stream to see if you can hear what we hear. I'll take your word for it, trust me. If the stream ends, just come back, because I'm probably going to go live again immediately. But stay right here. Hopefully, when I unplug this capture card from my monitor, OBS will not crash on me, because I don't want that to happen. So I think I have two things plugged in here. I have a USB that's plugged into my monitor, I think. Oh no, it's plugged directly. This is a HDMI that's plugged directly into the PC. And then I have a second one that's plugged into the monitor. So I'm going to unplug this one right here. Oh, I'm still live. Let's go. Okay, hold on, chat. That wasn't the end of the world. Okay. So I feel like unplugging my capture card is a good first step. I'm gonna unplug it from the bottom to, hold on. All right, what if I could reach it? Okay. So I unplugged my capture card from the PC, and now I'm going to go ahead and plug this back into the capture card. Okay. Unplug, replug. Oh, I see it came back. For a second. Uh-oh. No, okay, we're here. All right, I'm gonna press play. God, why am I actually scared? This is such a stupid thing to be scared of. We'll go back to 300 for the audio. All right. Please tell me that sounded good. I don't want to have to. It's fixed. Oh no, it's not fixed. Chops. Why did someone say it's fixed? What? Okay. Somebody punked me. Okay, hold on. Someone says it's got to be an OBS thing. Well, let me ask you this. Hold on. I'm going to delete my PC audio. Even though I don't want to do that. Wait, hold on. I could switch it off of monitor and output. Maybe that's affecting it? I mean, I won't be able to hear it all, but I just want to know if this does anything. Let me know if this does anything. Because now I can't hear, but if you guys can hear, theoretically I could still do this stream because I've watched every single clip beforehand. I literally could. Still bad. Someone said maybe it's the plugin. It could be the plugin. I will say that would make it really weird that I can still hear just fine. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, God, I wish like, I don't know what I wish, but I wish it. Let me ask you this. Instead of playing things through Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge or whatever I'm using, I'm just gonna play audio that I have on my actual computer, and then I want you all to tell me if it's still chopped. Here's some more audio for you. Wait, let me turn the monitor back on. And you all let me know how this sounds. It might be quiet, but quiet we can work with. Yay? Nay? Someone said still chopped. Well, but it's not Microsoft Edge. It's my computer. That's bad. That's the worst possible answer, actually. Okay, so take two. Take two is I'm going to delete the audio itself. I think. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. Properties. No, not properties. Cancel. I'll just remove it, I guess. Are you sure you wish to remove PC audio? Yes. Okay, so this is annoying. So now you all can still see, which is good, but you wouldn't be able to hear at all because it's not outputting audio, which is intended. So now from here, my hope, even though I don't think this makes much sense if I'm being honest, is that if I add it back in, would it work? That literally makes no sense. New source, audio input capture. Yes. Okay. Device Elgato game capture Neo. Okay. Okay.
Like a temple, I think, especially being.
Wait, I just realized it might be kind of loud. I used to. Okay, wait. I usually have it on like minus 11.3, so I'm sorry if that was like really insanely loud. Let me wait. Okay, was that y'all said that fixed it? Pause. Wait. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna turn the volume up and you're gonna tell me if this works or not. Hold on a second. All right, let me make sure I can hear though, because I gotta output the audio, so I'm monitoring it as well. Oh, it's me. Oh God, I hear myself in my ear. Bro, I'm literally gonna... Okay. That was traumatizing. Imagine speaking and a live feed of your voice plays directly into your ear. Well, that's actually kind of how speech works if you are also a person who can hear. But like, imagine it literally being beamed from a high quality mic directly into your ear. That was disturbing. Let's try to fix that correctly, because that was not it, chat. That wasn't it at all. Uh-oh. Wait a second. Testing? Testing 1, 2, 3. It's echoing. Why? Okay. Testing, testing, testing. Someone said we can work with the echo. We can work with the echo for sure, but... Okay. Now I must admit, someone said because you're monitoring. I turned monitoring off, genuinely. Hold on, wait. Let me double check before I say that. Yeah, I have monitoring off on both sources. Okay, I'm gonna delete it again. Even though... Wait. I fixed it. I fixed it. There should be no more audio. Or, well, no, there should be audio. There should be no more echo. And you should be able to hear without bad quality.
Being a dancer, we're always like, go, go, go.
Wait, I can't hear. Okay, wait, hold on. Last thing. Monitor and output. Okay. Go.
Oh, like next event, but I think something that's so important that gets overlooked a lot is just like taking the time for yourself and like healing from within, but also like externally as well.
You know, we were talking, some of amongst us. We've had.
Someone said it's quiet, but it works. Maybe we can work with quiet. I am so happy. Okay. Here's the last thing. The last thing I need to do is just make sure that when I'm recording, because I just changed all my settings around, we're still getting the audio output. Because here's the problem. If I don't double check that, then what could easily happen is I think it's working on the stream and I'm recording for like 60 to 90 minutes, an hour and 45 minutes, and then I go back and watch the footage, and none of the parts where I was playing audio actually wind up in the video file. And if that happens, let's not think about how I'm going to react to that. So I'm going to go ahead and start recording. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. This is a video. Audio, go.
Groups come in and they're kind of, you know, they have a persona on stage. They have a
Okay, I let the audio play, and we're ending the recording now. Okay, now I'm gonna go check the recording and just make sure I can hear, because oh, I'm gonna be so pissed off if that was gonna happen to me. Okay, hold on. Testing, testing, testing. Yeah, I ate that down. I'm sorry, I actually genuinely ate that. We ate that because someone in my chat said they thought it was an OBS issue, and I agreed with that. So look at how we ate that and left no crumbs. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Someone said turn the captions on. Don't worry, we'll do all the captions. I wasn't even trying to watch this. I just wanted something playing audio so I could fix it. What the helly? So I guess OBS just had some kind of weird glitch where there was nothing wrong with the audio. So bro, I don't know, and I don't care. I'm happy it works. Do not ask questions. Once you get something to work, give up, leave it. Don't touch it. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Really do not. Someone said, did you test the desktop audio or just the mic audio? Both. Yeah, I talked, and then I played the clip, and then I talked, and all of it worked. So I'm happy. Oh man, what a mess. Someone said they would hire me for IT. Don't. Maybe don't, because I'm positive somebody could have instantly fixed this in 5 minutes. But I do things my way. Yeah, we've been live for 41 minutes, and I think the past 12 or 15 has been me trying to fix this one issue, but I fixed it. All right, so next up, I am going to go ahead and pull up my second monitor and the outline so we can probably get into this cat's eye topic. I think you've all waited long enough, which I greatly appreciate. Of course, my second monitor is not working, but that's okay. That is literally small potatoes compared to massive audio glitches. And after this stream, I'm going to go back and watch and listen to what you guys were saying it sounded like, because I never heard it. And like I said, coming through my headphones, it sounded great. So I'm so confused by whatever was happening there. Oh wait, this is about BTS. We already did that one. Hold on. Well, okay, here we go. We want cat's eye. I also realize I'm doing like 2 K-pop or K-pop adjacent topics back to back, and I do promise you I'm not becoming a K-pop channel. I really do. Someone said, can we watch Mano pronouncing her name? Yes. Last video before we start. Mano pronouncing her own name. This is like the 5th time I'm playing this video, but this is the first time we're going to hear it together as a group without glitches. Okay, we'll do like 300, something like that. Take it away, Mano.
You pronounce your name. Mano. So easy. It's still to this day, there's a lot, and it's always gonna be a thing. I get it. It's not a common name where I'm at. But it's not Manon. It's not Manu. It's not Manon. Mano. What else? Those are like the most common ones.
I feel for this girl. I feel for this person. Because it really be like that when you have a name that people just suddenly act like they don't know how to check first. As a D'Angelo, my name, I don't think people struggle with the pronunciation, but they just be freestyling when it comes to the spelling. And I'm like, baby, it's not that hard. So I'm going to be respectful. Thank you, Mano, for the information. Someone said it's a little loud. Oh, my bad. I can fix that. That's a nice problem to have, for sure. Because yeah, I'll work with that once we get there. All right, everybody. Go ahead and say hi. Recording 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody go ahead and say hi so we can do an outline here. Or not an outline, an intro. All right. I realize this is the second K-pop and or K-pop adjacent video I'm uploading in a row, I promise you I'm not turning into a K-pop updates channel. I happen to have been working on a katseye video all the way back in 2024, and then I kind of shelved it because I was so confused by what was happening with the group. And then a few months ago, they got into this drama with one of their members being on hiatus or not being on hiatus. What is going on there? So I started updating the outline, and then I got so confused, I just moved on again. And most recently, they have drama with another member maybe leaving or being on a break. I don't want to over sensationalize. And also weird discourse involving sexualization of the group members, some of whom literally just turned 18. So I figured today's the day. Let's just finally get into this katseye discourse. You are in no way going to get a comprehensive documentary on this. There's already a couple of those on Netflix. You're just going to get my deeply concerned take. All right. Someone said he's a K-pop video. Someone in chat said he's a K-pop channel at Video 3. I have to be careful. If I upload the third one, it's so over. So if you're like, D'Angelo, please, you're testing my patience. Who is katseye? They are a global girl group. They're managed by Hybe and Geffen. Hybe is a K-pop label and Geffen is not. And internationally, this group of women is marketed. You know, they do the whole 9 yards. They had their training arc. They debuted. They released their songs. It's just every single aspect of everything katseye has ever been associated with is actually cursed. Okay, pulling this out right here. Okay, hold on, wait. I should give this disclaimer too. Also, one thing I want to say before we get started. I am not here to trash the actual members of the girl group. If you came here because you have like a favorite member or a hated member and you're trying to see which of these opinions I'm going to validate, I'm very much team I hate their management. I don't think I have much to say about the individual members, but I'm sure other people have that covered better than I do. All right, pulling this right here. Regardless of what the girls of this group have done, I think it's pretty safe to say there's a lot of strange things going in the background, hence one of them being missing from all of their promotional material, videos, performances, etc. for months at this point. And most recently, I think people have been expecting answers, but I genuinely believe we're just only going to get more and more questions as more and more members continue to leave. Someone said Hybe and Geffen as a whole is very bad. They really, really are. But one thing I do want to say, this group is popular, bro. It's not just some internet type stuff. That's what I assumed. I saw the 9 million Instagram followers. Pulling this right here. I saw them killing it on TikTok, 20 million, which is absolutely crazy. I was like, okay, they must be going bananas with, you know, younger Gen Z, Gen Alpha, maybe. I don't know. No. Then I started looking at some crowd photos. Bro, katseye is crazy as hell. They are actually so popular. I think it's just most of the people responsible for this popularity are a solid 10 to 12 years younger than... No. Why am I sitting here lying? They're probably like 15 to 20 years younger than me. And that is why I've been blissfully unaware of the katseye fandom. But I see a lot of people say they're very popular with kids. All right. Pulling this right here. The story of how katseye started is just so odd. It was through Popstar Academy, or it was documented through Popstar Academy, which is a Netflix documentary. As Slate puts it, with this show, the great Making the Band reality show is finally back, and this time it comes with a K-pop twist. The goal of Hybe and Geffen teaming up and doing this whole drama was to apply traditional K-pop development practices and aesthetics to an ensemble of international girls who would be marketed to the US and beyond. And it is an interesting concept. Obviously, K-pop, well, is usually Korea first, South Korea. So seeing these tactics applied to a wider scale, I was fascinated. It did kind of go as wrong as possible. The process, a severely condensed version of the Korean entertainment industry's infamous grueling trainee programs, dubbed Training and Development, or T&D, followed by a broadcast Korean-style survival competition show to finalize the group. Now, here's the problem. If that sounds like two things to you, a training session, a training development period, and also a weird reality TV style survival, we're eliminating people show, they didn't tell the girls that it was going to turn into a survival show. They invited all of these young people and were like, yeah, come train with us, come work together. And then they sprung a surprise. Oh, also, you're all getting eliminated, basically. Pulling this right here. Also, before I look into how that left the people there feeling, I just want to point out, this was definitely child labor. This took place a couple years ago, and with one member being 18, Yoon Chae, two of them being 20, half of the current lineup of Katseye were literally minors during this. It's literally just a bunch of actual children and a few young adults putting in hours and hours and hours of work in this intensely pressured environment. Pulling this right here. It says right here, in episode 7, Lexi, which is one of the girls who didn't make the cut, voluntarily leaves the show, expressing how it had descended into something she didn't want to be a part of. The whole program changed so much when it went public, and it turned into like this show turning us against each other, she said. And that was something I really didn't like personally. It felt really wrong, and I was really upset. Carly then says, from the start, we didn't know this was a survival show. It was supposed to be training. Pick the girls, prepare for debut, and debut. This is insane, actually. It says right here, oh, they were also, what they would do too, is they had the girls, like they recorded segments of the girls ranking, like, okay, who would you want if we were to kind of close the floor here? And they told them, we're not going to show your answers, don't worry. And then they had a big group watch session where they show all of the girls' answers. I'm being so for right now. Brooklyn, meanwhile, highlights the Dream Team voting, stating, I personally was told in this interview that it was not going to be seen, and I felt so, like, betrayed. People online reacting and saying, if I signed on to be trained in private, evaluated in private, and then basically, surprise, surprise, it's a survival show, there would be hell to pay. Dude, this is... all of this has been documented. All of this is still on Netflix if you want to go take a peek at the Popstar Academy. What was it called? Making sure I'm not getting the name wrong. At the Popstar Academy Fallout. But regardless of all of this, it worked, I guess, at the expense of all of these other people. And finally, Katseye had their 6-person lineup. Pulling this right here. I just feel like regardless of, hold on, let me pull or turn the volume up a little bit. We'll do 250. I feel like regardless of the fascinating aspect or whatever, it is kind of sad just watching a bunch of people react this way.
Be eliminated at any moment for any. They can be eliminated at any moment for any reason.
I think everyone is a threat.
Skipping ahead to like 0, 30, 40 or whatever.
I really perform for my life each time I dance.
They're trying to make it seem like cute, I think. That like, oh yeah, look how hard all of these girls are working. And I'm just like, no. So that again was going to be the gist of my 2024 Katseye video, but again, there wound up being a bunch of weird drama involving one of the members that I kind of put it all on hold because I was trying to get to the bottom of what was happening. Reading chat, reading chat. Someone said making this into a show like this feels crazy. They didn't ask for this. Just pulling some reactions from people who pulling some reactions from people who watched it at the time. Someone said, as a fan of Katseye, I was pissed that they didn't tell the girls about it being a survival show. I'm not sure why they decided to pull such a shady move. There was no reason to not tell the girls. Also, it's disgusting that they exposed whatever the girls said in private. Most of these girls were teenagers who put their trust in these adults. Pulling this right here. Blah, 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 blah. I also feel like this person kind of pointing out how weird this is as a concept. My biggest gripe is they basically had these girls in indentured servitude for 2 years for the whole thing. They weren't paid. They were forced to work. They say train, but really they were training for a very specific job, so that counts as work. They had restrictions on their personal freedoms, and then they found out they'd been lied to for almost 2 years. On top of all of that, it's horrifying. Just actually insane. Pulling this right here. And then you just have this longer comment kind of getting into like, it's a decent documentary if you take it as, wow, this industry genuinely sucks, instead of some sort of inspirational story. All right. Someone in chat said they straight up said in the documentary that yes, it was messed up, but it made for good TV. That's just not right to do to people. That's wild. Thank you for that info, though. Anyways, next I'm gonna get into the drama involving Manon. So she is one of the members of Katseye who, you know, made the cut, and I'm telling you right now, this is a can of worms. And I don't think it's her fault at all. So unfortunately, she is either loved by a large portion of the fan base or just absolutely reviled. If you want to kind of get into why do some people hate, such a strong word to use for a girl group member, hate Manon from Katseye, let's take a look at it. A lot of this stemmed from the way people felt she was depicted in this documentary. I want to make sure I'm pulling the right timestamp. We'll do... we'll start at 10 seconds and go to 25. So obviously, wait, I'm probably going to have to turn the volume up. That way you all can hear, or else you're not going to hear. Okay. Obviously, this involved such an extreme schedule, right? And whereas a lot of the people were keeping up with that schedule just fine, there were several instances in which Manon was like missing practice or not showing up or whatever. I would like to weekly offer she literally got sick, which is why she missed part of this. But regardless, it kind of seemed like the other girls felt like her heart wasn't in it or something. But Manon found this a little unfair and confronted everybody.
I think I'm a little...
Oh god, it's so quiet.
Frustrated.
Hold on, wait. You literally can't hear this at all. Oh, you can turn it up here.
Because I know I've been missing, but...
Okay, hold on. I gotta turn it up so much. Maybe like 500?
I know a lot of other girls...
Nope, still quiet. 600? I can't turn it up beyond 600 chat, so...
also have been missing, and I feel like...
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, chat. This is going to be really quiet. But there's nothing I can do. Okay, I'm going to go back to 20 seconds in.
A lot of other girls also have been missing.
Or I think it was 15 seconds in.
Frustrated, because...
Sorry, give me a second.
Things, and I think I'm a little frustrated, because I know I've been missing, but I know a lot of other girls also have been missing, and I feel like it's only being taken out on me in a way, and so
that was her perspective. The other girls explained their perspective, which is like, well, we just kind of feel like maybe you weren't taking it as seriously as we were. And also, I just want to say, I really don't think that any of the people involved, well, except the management, is a villain here. Skipping to 101. I do maybe have thoughts and opinions about how this conversation went down. Manon tries to explain herself, but
like 2 days ago you were sitting out and then Sohei literally had to get your attention because you weren't paying attention, like things like that. I know, like, you
Try to listen instead of react to what she's saying. Try to just sit and listen.
it's like it is a skill set thing.
this conversation is taken out of context, and I fear this is what has caused this major division where you have half of the people saying like, oh, Manon, so entitled, so lazy. And we're going to get into how weird this lazy criticism is in a second. And you have another group of people saying like, oh my gosh, like if somebody was interrupting me while I was trying to explain myself, I would crash out, which I do kind of really hate how this went down. I'll just pull one more clip from this 223. But I just want to say, like, the thing that I feel like Manon haters do not acknowledge for some weird reason, she literally said sorry. She actually apologized.
Accountable, and I'm sorry for missing classes. I want this. I'm trying really hard, and I hope that reads. And I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Guess do better. Do better.
Do better is crazy, but she did better. I think 110's conversation is not enough to hold over somebody's head for the rest of time and claim that they are either a villain or are not taking things seriously. In fact, I would like to show you this take on it, which I pretty much agree with. It says Manon slacks off and doesn't think the whole thing is serious. I don't know because I didn't watch it. Maybe she was slacking off, maybe she wasn't. The other girls are mad because she's not pulling her weight, or at least that's how they felt. Manon realizes this, talks it out. The other girls tell her they're upset because she needs to put in more effort. Manon agrees, apologizes, and puts in more effort from that point on. The girls get over it and everyone makes up. Even though I think that whole conversation could have been handled much better without shutting her down and saying, oh, just sit there and listen, do better, because that's crazy as hell. This should have ended 2 years ago. This genuinely should have been over so long ago, and yet it devolved into this Manon is lazy discourse that I have personally seen pop off for years at this point. 2 years. February 17th, 2026. We're still talking about this. It says right here, Manon had a reputation on Popstar Academy for being absent for rehearsals and had to miss a date on their first North American tour owing to illness. It's the way I grew up. She says, America has a very different culture when it comes to work-life balance. You guys are all about grind and hustle. In Switzerland, where she's from, if you're sick, you take a day off. No one's going to expect you to work. It doesn't help that her work ethic has been under scrutiny since day one. Being called lazy, especially as a black girl, is not fair. Now I feel like I always need to put in extra work to prove something, even though I really don't. And genuinely, she is right. It doesn't matter. I just want to say this to all Manon haters if you're watching this. It doesn't even matter if she was taking it seriously in the beginning or not. She turned it around, obviously, or she wouldn't have made the cut. And continuing to push this, well, we just hate her because she was lazy in a documentary 2 years ago that was obviously edited to portray a certain narrative. It's insane. And if we start looking at it from the perspective of why is the black girl in this group getting the lazy allegations, even though I would say people are horrible about multiple group members for different reasons. But yeah, I hate this. And then what people try to do as well is like continue to act like all of these people hate each other when this is how they talk about each other. Lara, another one of the members, says, the drama, the ranking, that's not how we see each other. Imagine ranking your friends and going 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on who has the worst stage presence and who has the best, or who's the biggest star and who's the least. Like, how effing weird. Pulling this right here. But that was just literally not enough to stop the fan wars, to it gets to the point where it's like people posting on the katseye subreddit. It's crazy how a lot of y'all are okay with the hate Manon receives. Someone saying it's very obvious a large part of this fandom has serious distaste for Manon, because tell me why, I've seen more comments accusing her of faking an illness so that she wouldn't have to perform than comments missing her, defending her. And that's what happens anytime this girl is missing from anything. People go online to say, well, there she is again, just being the laziest member of Katseye. And I'm like, y'all, and they're like, no wonder the other girls all hate her. And I'm just like, y'all are genuinely so foul for this. Pulling this right here. Someone said exactly, they were made to be pitted against each other after having been part of one big team of trainees up to this point. Yeah, the drama that these girls were going through was foisted upon them by the management. And let's see, pulling this right here, I'll give you an example. You have another member doing a good job, Yoon Chae. Someone says when Yoon Chae said not to underestimate her, she meant it. And then you got people randomly on TikTok being like, don't end me, but I simply can't imagine Manon doing this with them anyways. Chiming in like, they didn't let Manon perform because she can't perform like this caliber. I just... wild. Moving on from here. But yeah, to anybody who wants to like try to convince me that I'm missing all of the signs that Manon is actually secretly the problem and all of the other girls just wanted her gone, I'm literally just going to leave you with this clip from 2024. Hopefully the audio is fine.
So
I feel like...
Oh, the audio is not fine, chat. Okay, hold on.
The intensity and the feelings that...
Oh my gosh, it's so quiet. I can't even put on the captions. Oh, I can put on captions. Okay, sorry. We're gonna put captions on. I'm gonna boost the audio in post, okay? I promise. Here.
It's not like...
Wait.
The intensity and the feelings that we felt during that time, now it's just so different. And the competition is not there anymore, so...
Y'all want them to be in competition with each other so bad, and it's pathetic, I won't lie to you. Someone says good for us. Okay, I'm glad you could hear it. Anyways, that's my take on the Katseye Manon lazy discourse as an outsider. I'm sure the haters could provide receipts and tell me I'm wrong one way, but I genuinely believe y'all were being racist as hell towards that girl. And even though she had a lot of supporters, which I'm very happy about, that was still gross. Also, I realized I keep calling them that girl and using the word girl a lot. It's because they're a girl group. And like I said, half of them were like minors at this time. I think everyone in Katseye at this point is a woman, but you get my point, obviously. Reading chat. Someone in chat said, remember Manon fainting at the airport and everyone laughing it off? We're going to get into in a second that she was right. And the workload that all 6 members of Katseye are under is simply not sustainable. Pulling this right here. But regardless of that, all of this was necessary because I want you to realize it colors this whole Manon hiatus controversy that's now going on. So even though this article right here says Sophia and Manon are on hiatus, don't worry, that's spoilers, we'll get there. This year, it's been this weird will they, won't they, where she has stopped appearing in all Katseye related everything, which could literally have nothing to do obviously with the pressure that they were under, but like here's a timeline of this. So obviously she said she's not leaving the group, and I don't think she left, and I hope that she doesn't, I guess. But Katseye confirmed the hiatus after open and thoughtful conversations. We're sharing that Manon will be taking a temporary hiatus from group activities to focus on her health and well-being. Good. I'm so happy for her. I could not be more serious. We fully support this decision. Katseye remains committed to showing up for one another and for the fans who mean everything to us. This group will continue scheduled activities during this time, and we look forward to being together again when the time is right. Thank you to our icons, that would be the fan base, get it, Katseye icons, for your continued love, patience, and understanding. Hybe, X Geffen, not them signing it with this cute little like name as if they are not literally Satan. Anyways, you can imagine people had a wide range of reactions. Manon herself said, I want you to hear this from me. I'm healthy, I'm okay, and I'm taking care of myself, which is good. That's the only thing I would want. She said, sometimes things unfold in ways we don't fully control. But I'm trusting the bigger picture. Thank you for standing by me. I love you endlessly and can't wait to see you again. Obviously, that could literally mean nothing. People were going crazy with the speculation on what does that mean? Did she leave the group? Was she asked to leave the group? Is she coming back? I still think it's pretty much just a hiatus. And then she took katseye out of her bio, which I don't think was a good sign. But she did say, thank you for all the love and support you've been sending my way. I'm really grateful for the patience and kindness everyone has shown during this time. Hybe and Geffen and I are having positive conversations, and I feel supported, happy, healthy. I'll be sharing more soon. People are pointing out she did show up in a photo shoot, but obviously that was filmed before all of this. And then they released their first music video without her, which is kind of a big deal, even though we're gonna look at Katseye's music videos in a second, and I'm not gonna lie, they didn't miss much. She didn't miss much. They went to Coachella without her a few months ago. They were in a Gap campaign. I remember that one was really popular. She wasn't there either, etc. And again, though, I just want to stress, this is literally not in-group drama. It says right here, in an interview with Laura Sophia, another group member said, Manon is always welcome back in the band. Because we did announce that the hiatus is about her well-being, it's not our place or anybody else's place to rush her. We want to give her all the time that she needs, all the space that she needs, and so we don't want to make any assumptions or set anything in stone. She really deserves that, and the door is always open. We love her, and the fans love her, the people love her. They love katseye. If I was in their place, I would be asking too, and so we understand, but what we can say is that we wish you could just keep extending love and support and patience and all those things, because all of us deserve that. Anybody does. So please don't let anybody tell you that this is like, finally Manon has gotten what she deserves, getting kicked out of katseye by the other group members because she was so bad. Not a reflection of reality. And kind of getting into some of these work conditions, just because y'all can't convince me it was just her being crazy. I am sorry that I can't find a higher quality version of this video. I think it was ripped from like Tor behind the scenes or something, but there's captions on here. I want you to listen to how the rest of these girl group members are talking about their time and just how grueling it is. Oh, someone in chat said, oh wait, I have to mention, someone in chat said she was at Coachella, just not performing. Yeah, they performed without her, but she was there, which is hilarious. Okay. We'll try 350. Hopefully that works. Wait, someone in chat says, what about when Sophia thanked BTS at an awards show and didn't mention Manon at all, though? I am sure you could retroactively spin almost anything that any katseye member other than Manon has done as like anti-Manon shade. But I do still believe Occam's razor, it might just be easier to take them at their word that they're just waiting for her to feel better. I don't know. I realize like maybe now, just from the way people are reacting to this live stream, I'm realizing I might actually have some pushback on this video of people not agreeing with my stance that it's just really not that serious, and I don't think Manon is actually the problem. Someone said Daniela's dad's comments. He's literally completely irrelevant. And him saying that he believes that the group can work as 5 and Manon can come back when she's ready to work. I didn't even put in my outline, even though I'm aware of those comments, because I just can't imagine anybody whose opinion matters less than Daniela's dad. He's not famous and he didn't graduate into katseye, so that's silly. Reading chat. Someone said, sorry, but the Danny's dad thing was crazy. Yeah. I mean, I guess we could talk about that. That's like a level of drama I just feel like is actually genuinely stupid. I don't even, Daniela, not Danielle. I don't even have this in my outline because The show must go on, he says, with or without a member. Katseye is bigger than one girl. That's so weird, dude. That's genuinely so weird. I like if anybody in my family started publicly speculating or commenting on anything I was involved with in this way, I think I would actually genuinely disappear. I really, really would. Someone said bro thinks he's part of a team. Bro thinks they're a part of the team. Yeah, no. Reading in chat. Someone said he's so weird. Yeah, no, that's I don't see this as proof that Daniela and Katseye would be, I don't know, feuding. But you know what? I will go ahead and open the floor for a second before I continue steamrolling through this. For all the people who are saying I'm missing a lot of things, could you explain to me what it is that I'm missing that would significantly alter my main points in this video? I'm not asking for a Google document with every single thing that Katseye has ever done or said. I'm literally doing a temperature check trying to make sure that my high level overview of this is accurate, because I don't want to provide inaccurate misinformation as if there's accurate misinfo, but I also literally just don't I don't feel like talking about the actual dynamics of let's do body language analysis on all of these girls and prove anything about the way they feel about each other, because I don't care. And I don't think that's really productive. Reading chat. Okay. Someone said Missy, you're missing Missy. That would be their management, right? Hold on. Someone said you did say she wasn't in the Gap ad, but she was front and center in it. Okay, so then I got that wrong. Sorry. That was a mistake. I can fix that, because that wasn't intentional info. Sorry, I was going through a list of all the things that she was or was not in, and so I messed that up accidentally, but I can go back and fix that in post. I definitely will. Someone said this would have been wild to leave out of the conversation. That's so interesting. I really don't agree that we need to include what Daniela's dad said, though. Like, he's so irrelevant. He doesn't matter. He's literally like, what? Reading chat. Someone said she wasn't in the second Gap ad. Oh, okay. So I wasn't even wrong. That they did have a Gap ad that she wasn't in. I'll go back and check that. But no, I'm being serious. I'm genuinely asking, because like I could definitely have gotten a few key points wrong here. The assertion that I'm missing a lot is something I just want a temperature check on, obviously. Someone says there were 2 Gap campaigns. Okay, I'll go back and look at that. Someone says Manon was in the OG Gap ad, but not the second collaboration. That's simple enough. Someone in chat said, wasn't he not her dad? Okay, see, that's literally too many levels of abstraction. Someone said, I think you're fine. Okay, well, there's so many comments. Someone said they dropped hoodies for all of them, but no appearance. Yeah. Someone said I'm not missing anything. Yeah. Someone said you're not missing too much. Okay. Yeah, I really don't think I'm missing much. if I am actually totally like shooting my someone said debut choreography, they take turns standing in front of her, the first red flag. Again, we're getting into Katseye girl group member body language analysis, which I'm not here to do. Maybe it does look really bad and that's like important info, but y'all have to know there is a level of in too deep. Really, really is. Someone said Daniela's dad is Manon. Okay, please stop. Please stop. Someone in chat said they cut her out of Pinky Up. I think even if they did, I was still right when I said she wasn't in it. Right? So they had a Gap collaboration. Manon does have her own sweater with Gap. I'm going to go back and double check on the Gap thing, but that seems like the biggest thing. Someone said you should accept the possibility that those girls could also be racist to her, not just management. I think that's always a possibility. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Someone said, what about Manon deleted a bunch of photos of her and Daniela after Daniela was hanging out with the one girl who hated on her? This is what I'm talking about. That's just in too deep. I know, listen, I literally know that there are like YouTubers who will serve you this level of analysis of like, you guys, Manon just deleted all of her posts with Daniela after Daniela was caught hanging out with this one girl who was apparently hating on her. I have literally never served that level of detail or speculation with my content because that could literally be nothing or it could be everything. So maybe I will just say like what am I supposed to how would I know that? I think is the second question I have as well. I just don't think that's a reasonable thing for me to know, even as somebody whose job it is to do research on these things. Does that make sense? Someone said she denied Manon's blackness. Okay. Here's what I'm going to say, and I will put this in the video. The world of katseye member interpersonal relationship dynamics goes so far beyond anything I was willing to research. So, whereas it is actually completely possible that maybe there are massive problems and the girls do hate her or she hates them, it involves a level of analysis of their post that, I hate to say, as somebody so deeply removed from their target audience, I'm simply unwilling to do. I'm not going to be scrolling through nobody's Instagram like that. I find it easy to believe their statements that it's not that big of a deal, but you probably could flip this into another thing as well. It's just literally not the story I'm here to tell. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Someone said Adela didn't do anything. She's not even in the group. What does that even mean? Reading chat. Someone said there's a long pattern of Hybe and Geffen excluding Manon. It's not a one-time thing. I completely agree with you that Hybe and Geffen have mishandled her. In fact, I do have it in my outline that she was liking posts about the way that singular black members of girl groups are treated. I just didn't get there yet before people started saying I was like missing a lot, apparently. Someone said let's just stick with what we know. Someone in chat said, I really don't think it should be about the in group because it requires so much speculation. We really should be talking about management. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, I don't like care if maybe I should just be more honest, because I realize I'm talking around it and it's not doing me any favors. I don't care if anybody in katseye is not friends with each other. That's not relevant information to my thesis, which is that the group has been severely mishandled. Whether or not these 6 women are friends with each other, I don't care. And that's not research. That's just parasocial speculation, which is fine. That's okay. It's just not something I'm interested in. That's how I feel. And then I also deeply feel like it's by design that so much of the backlash is falling on these girls who have literally been exploited, some of them since childhood. Don't you think it's a little convenient that we have this group, the entity of katseye, and so much of the speculation online does what people always do when you have groups of women, if I'm being honest, where we start making it about, well, we got to pick out the villain and we got to prove that this one's actually the bad one. I'm not even playing that game because it actually oftentimes devolves into, can I just say racism and misogyny so quickly? Again, that doesn't mean that there's literally nothing there. if you're looking at this from the standpoint of me trying to make a video about katseye interpersonal relationship drama, then yeah, you could say I didn't do my research, because I didn't. But I think I've done sufficient research for a more zoomed out video about the problems that the group members are facing, regardless of why. Yeah, she's on hiatus. Nobody really knows why. It hasn't been confirmed, etc. So yeah, people are really, 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 really weird about katseye. And I don't think that you all are being super weird about it, but I cannot in good conscience validate any theory about these girls hating each other as some random dude. Like, that's literally gonna make me feel crazy. I don't know, man. I really don't. Someone said 5 of 6 members have been put into the public eye since they were literal children. Yeah, I think like I also have. Okay, we're literally completely derailed at this point, but maybe I'll just say it. I also have like a shred of sympathy for these people. I know for sure they're like what, 20, 19, 18, 21. So they're not like babies or whatever. I just feel like having your every move analyzed to this degree is odd. And it can be really easy to come across as one thing or another. Again, like if in me ignoring that, you feel that I'm ignoring claims of racism against the members, I can see that perspective, but it is still literally one of my outline points that Manon herself alludes to experiencing racism within the group. I just hadn't gotten there yet. Reading chat. Someone says the corporations, the parents, and the industry that perpetuates all of this. Yeah, that's how I felt. Also, not to sound petulant or anything, but low key, this is why I didn't make a video about katseye in 2024, and why I didn't make a video about katseye 3 months ago, or however many months ago. It might have been more than 3. When the hiatus drama was happening, because I was going to do it. But every time I would just see how intense everybody was about things that we just literally don't know. And I said, maybe it's not a good idea to cover this because I don't think this is going to land. So I just think that this is very funny. I just think that this is very funny that now here I am on the 3rd try and I'm like, I think it's finally been far enough away from this that this won't happen. And it is pretty much happening. But that's okay. That is fine. Someone said maybe just go with the outline and then people can complain about what was missed from then on. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to keep trucking. And then at the end, we can do a feedback session. And if it turns out I need to go back to the drawing board, I'm certainly down to do that. Pulling this right here. Someone said the last single was so bad. That's one of the plot points in my outline. I keep calling them plot points as if I'm literally reading a book. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay, I think that's fine audio-wise. These comments are wild, bro. These comments are literally wild. Sorry, I'm getting distracted reading my own chat. I don't really understand what is being argued. I'm confused. This is literally why I didn't touch this with a 10-foot pole, because I was just so confused by how people were reacting to this. I don't know. Someone said Twitter's worse. Yeah, we're getting like a condensed version of how katseye discourse usually goes. Thankfully, everyone in my chat is still being nice about it. You can put whatever you want as long as it's not hateful. But what is happening right here on the side happens in every comment section, but like amped up to 10 with a bunch of name calling and accusations, and it's literally wild. It's so wild. So just ignore chat. I'm gonna come back to chat after we're done going through what I was gonna say initially. Anyways, putting this here so I can edit this easier. Jump back to the beginning of this frame. We're talking about how grueling their workload is for their performance. And I'm sorry I couldn't find a higher quality version of this video, but I think it was like ripped from Tour Behind the Scenes or something.
The pain starts.
Sorry, I don't know if that's super loud, but it is what it is, bro.
Pain starts from here, and it goes all the way up here.
Kind of hard to hear, but what you're getting from this is and hold on, I want to double check this. I wrote it down. A 22-year-old explaining why she has back pain and psoas issues.
And my back, it goes into my, what's called psoas, and into my lower back. Right now, it's really just right here.
And so instead of changing the choreography for her, they were, or instead of like having her sit this one out, they were like, okay, well, you're still going to perform, obviously. We'll just change the choreography so that we're not exacerbating your back pain that you're experiencing at 22. And then let's see what else we have in here. Oh yeah, 49 seconds in. This is so messed up, man.
I'm so tired. I got to sleep 2 hours total, but it's okay. I think it'll be so much fun, and I will get energy from our icons today.
No, Yoon Che, you get energy from sleeping, not from your fan base. I just doing this kind of high level performance off of 2 hours of sleep while various members are experiencing back pain, saying that they felt like they were going to pass out and or vomit.
I was like fatigued. I thought I was gonna throw up when they pulled me up. You know what I was thinking? I was like fainting almost the whole time. Yeah, and I was looking at your part, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did she do that?
This is too much work for anybody. It doesn't matter how high level of a performer you are, how much effort you're putting in, whether some people in the group are working harder than others. Literally nobody should talk about their own job this way. But the fact that it's been normalized to the point where their management doesn't even care about footage like this getting out, we'll put it out ourselves. It's just how it works. This isn't how anything should have to work. And I feel like maybe instead of the discourse being like, oh, Manon should have just worked harder than, or worked as hard as everyone else, maybe we should have been asking if any person should have to work that hard. That's how I feel about this whole lazy discourse personally. Pulling this right here. Literally not the only time that they're talking about feeling faint or dizzy or whatever. Right here, you have Sophia explaining that like the spins from the choreography are just making her dizzy. All of this is really, really hellish. I think it's like workout 101. You need rest days. You need rest periods. I can't believe this started for some of them when they were children, man. And that's why I was very unsurprised when amid Katseye Manon hiatus uncertainty, we get Katseye's Sophia to temporarily step back from group. This is literally just a week or so ago to prioritize her mental health and wellness. In a post on Weverse, the group revealed she has the utmost support from the band. Following through consultations with medical professionals, it's been advised that she take dedicated time for extended rest and ongoing care to ensure a full recovery, reads the statement. While Sophia herself is eager to perform alongside her members, the health, safety, and long-term well-being of our artists will always remain our highest priority. She also posted her own statement saying, "It truly breaks my heart to miss out on a lot. You know how much I love being on stage, performing, and sharing these moments with you. Making this decision wasn't easy, but I'm learning that health has to come first. I'm realizing that if I don't take care of my mind and body now, I won't be able to keep doing what I love the most for so long. Someone in chat said they're putting these girls at medical risk. They are literally and objectively putting each of these girls at medical risk, in harm's way. So again, hey, maybe if 2 of your members are now out of the equation for undisclosed wellness reasons, you should just let the group rest. Pulling this right here. But instead of that, what do we have? We're like, okay, well, katseye can't be 6 members, now it's just going to be 5. Oh, katseye can't be 5 members, now it's just going to be 4. And they literally just keep going and going and going. Here is them performing on the Tonight Show without Sophia, I think the day before yesterday. Which is just insane. Pulling this right here. All right, so moving on to my next point. Someone said losing your ability to dance at 20 for being overworked. How? Yeah, in your early 20s, these aren't physical problems that I would expect from people so young, unless they were working at a level that was pushing them beyond what is actually safe for them. Okay, pulling this right here. Also, speaking of their music videos, speaking of their performances and their music videos, I would like to talk about them for a second, because I'm so deeply disturbed by what Hybe and Geffen think is like appropriate. And this is the part where I have to work hard not to sound like some sort of puritanical grandpa. I think there's a difference between me being too invested in something in which I'm not the target audience and finding things like this incredibly strange. This is the video for their song Gnarly, released, by the way, when Yoon-chae was still a minor. Gonna turn this up a little bit. Not that much, though. Alright, so ignoring the behind slapping and all of that, I don't know if you caught that weird like moan ad-lib that was thrown in there. Actually, this entire video has really weird imagery and undertones. I'm gonna skip ahead to 152 where it gets to the point where they cut to like 2 flies, and for some reason the flies are just going at it. I was like, very odd for a group that so obviously is being catered towards literally Gen Alpha. But anyways, the moan sample, some of the producers for that song went online and talked about where they sourced it from. Going 23 seconds in. Someone said that was gnarly. I would agree that that was gnarly. Everything's gnarly. Okay, maybe we'll try 300 and see if that's enough. I'm not going to play this whole clip because I actually genuinely think that I'm going to get in trouble with YouTube.
It just needed a little extra something. It needed a little extra juice, so we're looking through.
I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Maybe like 400, I don't know.
Some sounds.
Solo the sound, so we can just hear.
Oh, this one right here.
Okay.
If you zoom out a little bit from the audio clip, you can kind of see maybe where the sound was from. You could take a guess.
Hey, why are we downloading porn audio and mixing it into the background of these girls' music and then distributing it to their obviously primarily child fan base? I feel like to not ask these questions would make me feel more insane than to ask them. So I simply must ask, what is going on with Katseye's image at this point? Also, that's just one problem I have with the video. Don't even get me started on the usage of AAVE. Oh wait. Before I get into that, I want to say, would you believe that people are defending this, by the way? That people are actually genuinely defending this? I'm sorry, but this reach is so far. It's just a sound. You're acting like a 17-year-old has never touched a browser before. I knew what a dick looked like since 14. Don't piss me off. That's not good. Where in the video did they reveal that the sound effects feature a minor? It's not the fact that the... Why am I yelling at people commenting on Twitter? This is weird and y'all are not going to trick me into believing it's not, okay? It's just a reference to Cupcake. Be for real. Are we offended by sounds now? Now, I think maybe I would just have to agree with this person who said, am I simply too woke, or is this really effing weird? Maybe I'm just that one friend that's too woke, but that's a hill I am quite willing to die on, so as not to sound like these people saying like, oh, 17, that's almost 18. Don't ever say that. But of course people on Twitter are defending this. I don't even know why I'm acting surprised. Anyways, that's like one problem I have with that song, by the way. Please do not even get me started on the usage of AAVE in this track, which is actually genuinely so cringe. Pulling this up right here.
Oh, we're in a session tonight. Gang, gang. Oh, we're going out tonight. Gang, gang. Oh my god, this song's so...
Y'all ain't black. I mean, Monona's, but y'all ain't black. Out here talking about, oh, we in the session tonight. Gang, gang. Chat, what do you think she meant by that? Hold on, I'm pulling this right here. Actually, all the lyrics to this song piss me off because it's so obviously like mocking speaking this way. Now you be like, gang, 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 haha. I mean, they were sensible enough to give that line to Mano, I guess. But literally just the various members of this talking about obvi, they be trying to copy, I'm the ish. No, please. Just because you guys are inspired by K-pop and K-pop is notorious for this cultural appropriation garbage doesn't mean you guys have to steal that part of it too. Comments, reactions to this were not happy. People on Reddit talking about, it's like if an AAVE obsessed K-pop group tried to mimic Francesca by Charlie XCX. Gang gang, while our raps was certainly a choice. What are we doing here? Just suffering, I guess. Pulling this right here. Also, one thing that people will try to point out to me is like, oh, you just don't understand, gnarly. Yeah, this song is satirical, guys. It was written by Alice Longyu. Oh wait, I'm covering it. It was written by Alice Longyu Gao. Or in large part, she made a demo for this. I would just like to say, I probably am a bigger fan of Alice Longyu Gao than any of the people trying to convince me that gnarly isn't weird. Actually, I really, really, really like all of her music. I think I've been listening to her for years, and whereas I can believe satire from her because this is literally her shtick, she actually on God has a project called Let's Hope Heteros Fail, Learn, and Retire, which is such a great title. No, I don't believe everything she's doing is in all seriousness. I just feel like a lot of that satire gets lost when you take it from somebody who is a performance artist and translate it onto this obviously cynical, contrived girl group that is being managed by two completely unethical companies. Does that make sense? Gnarly just still doesn't sit right with me. That's how I feel. So this is not Alice Longyu Gao shade. I feel like she knew what she was doing. That song just should never have seen the light of Katseye Studio. Someone said 10,000% agree. Yeah, that's how I feel about the, oh, it's satire, you guys. We're really doing this in 2026. I can believe satire, but not from Katseye. And basically what Katseye has done is pretty much just waver between... Oh, wait, someone said Alice uses they, them. Oh, snap. I'm going to double check that because I do not want to misgender anybody. It says Gao uses Z, Zim, Zer, she, her, and they, them. Okay, so she and her are within her pronouns, at least according to Wikipedia's latest update. But thank you for the info. I'm always down to learn more. All right, so moving on to Internet Girl for whatever reason. Anyways, if like Gnarly was brain rot in a nutshell, they kind of realized, oh, this works. Let's do it again. And so you get stuff like Internet Girl, which features amazing lyrics such as zooming in. And again, I just feel like what with the little literal baby voice samples and the chorus of a song being like eat zucchini, you cannot convince me that this music is not being created primarily with a very young audience in mind. I mean, this video itself is basically just like Coco Melon for tweens. So overstimulating. And that doesn't mean, by the way, you're not allowed to enjoy the music if you are older than Cat's Eye's target audience. That's not what I'm trying to get at here. You will catch me watching every single Pixar release, for example. I just feel like when we start mixing this in with some of the more obviously sexualized things, I have nothing but a side eye for Hype and Geffen for all of this. One thing that I see people say a lot too. Oh wait, hold on. Open link. What I also find quite fascinating about this is I don't want to be the bean soup guy, right? If you're not familiar with bean soup theory, it's like a phenomenon where somebody says, what about me, basically? Like an individual watches a video that doesn't pertain to them, but finds a way to make it about them anyway. It stems from a 2023 TikTok recipe for bean soup, where commenters were literally saying, oh, what if I don't like beans? I know that Cat's Eye's not for me, but not even Cat's Eye's fans enjoy this music. Obviously, enough of them do to support it, but there's so much pushback whenever they put out any of their brain rot songs, saying things like the baby voice is so effing bad, guys. You took out the most iconic part. They have replaced a clip of one of the members saying, I'm getting out of here, with that weird baby voice. I have not actually seen a positive reception to any of this Internet Girl gnarly pinky up stuff that we're doing. In fact, what I usually see people saying is like, how come they don't just let these members sing? They literally have vocal ability. I'm gonna turn this volume up a little bit. I think if most people were releasing Eat Zucchini and Internet Girl, or most people were releasing Gnarly and Eat Zucchini, Internet Girl, you would imagine it's because that's pretty much the only thing they can do. But like, bro, let them sing. They are literally too talented for this. I think that's a thing that I see come up a lot. If you just Google Cat's Eye, too talented for this, you will see people saying this all over the internet. They're too talented for their music. The girls are just way too talented for this. In denial as finest, Cat's Eye is too talented for this. I want to say I don't understand why they're so insistent on releasing this goofy music, but it does perform well. So I guess they will be forever trapped in hell, really. Okay, moving on to my next point. Also, it is kind of, I wouldn't use the word funny, but to see that Manon was not in this performance video, and someone said, for anyone wondering where she is, she had a sprained ankle when this was filmed, but she's okay now. She disappeared. Anyways, someone said free them from the label. Literally free them. Anyway, their most recent video, the most recent video that they release is so bad. In fact, I feel like I have to kind of prepare you for this a little bit. What was happening is as the years are going on, it's only been a couple years. Everything on the internet happens so quickly. As the months are going on, in a way that is absolutely not consistent with the age of Cat's Eye's viewership, they kept ratcheting up the imagery in their videos and even the themes seemingly. So you get like pinky up, da 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 da. And I feel like all of this would go down better if the music sounded a little nicer.
Us against the world, shaking ass in the parking lot. If we get a
the actual soul pain of going through a grueling survival style competition show just to get relegated to being handed songs where you got to throw it back in the parking lot when all of these people are such good dancers, are such good singers, could probably murder music that is so much better than this, but they just keep insisting on this cringe rap. And if you're like, D'Angelo, you gotta be pulling like the worst parts of the song on purpose just to torment us. I'm basically not doing that. Let's see. Someone says, I get what they're trying to go, but it's just not it. I definitely get it. Like, it doesn't not make sense. I just wish we could go somewhere else with this. So that's the direction that Katseye has been trending in. And I guess that would maybe explain their most recent video. Even 4 months ago when the song dropped, you had people saying, we need a vocalist that would sell out stadiums. You have those vocalists. Use those vocals to sell out stadiums. 58,000 likes. As an OG icon, these girls deserve better lyrics than just shaking it in the parking lot. Please. Gabriella is Katseye's prime song. And then this person says, I'm going to forgive Pinky Up, the one that we're on right now, after Hootie Fruity. Their most recent one. Let's just go ahead and pull up Hootie Fruity. I just... what the hell? We're also not going to watch this entire video because it's just odd. It's just odd. But yeah, months after Yoon Che turns 18 and everybody's finally not a minor...
Eu sei que tu gosta da fruta, mas essa é diferente.
This video is crazy. I think beyond a shadow of a doubt, if I was to actually sit here and show you multiple clips of this, I'm going to wind up catching a fat demonetization. But I can tell you what goes on in here. It's like obvious objectification because you keep getting shots of the girls where you can't even actually see their heads. I don't want to watch it long enough to like make my point. Oh, here we go. Literally so much of this video is just intercut with like obvious shots of like, hey, look at these bodies. Forget about the actual girls themselves. That doesn't matter. This is, I can't say it's like a left turn after they were obviously ramping up in this direction this entire time, but slotting this into the wider picture of Hybe and Geffen's continued sins just stacking on top of each other. Not only did you get all of these teenage girls to compete like this, you then have slowly pushed them into this. And I'm sure people would tell me, obviously, like, oh no, the girls have creative input. Please stop. And that you really held this competition, did all this, amassed this child audience, and have now thrust them into this obviously objectifying video. It's odd. I think it should be called out. Someone said it truly hurts being a fan. Yeah, I think all the people who have been supporting Katseye this entire time, they weren't doing it because they wanted to see this. Look, I know I'm unk. I know I'm old. I'm turning 28 in mere weeks. And yet I feel pretty confident saying nobody actually asked for this. Scrolling down to the comments, or I would if I... Okay, here we go. And again, people are just reeling. Their music videos went from 6 plus to 18 plus real quick. How did we go from touch to this BS the second Yoonshae turns 18? After seeing this, I have no words. An ad for slime aimed at kids and this kind of music video is crazy. It's not just me inaccurately surmising that this is obviously a child audience. People in the audience feel the same way. I felt like I was watching something illegal. What are we doing here? Someone said we hate Hype X Geffen, not the girls. Absolutely. Yeah, not a hating on the girls of Katseye Space. Also, this is like a minor qualm compared to that, but they're doing this very weird accent in the video, which I feel is supposed to be a Brazilian accent, I think. Someone on Reddit said, why do half of them sound like they're singing in a fake accent? Moving over here to this. Okay, hold on. God, I'm literally just trying to show a clip and it's crazy town over here. YouTube, if you get mad at me over this, I'm gonna get mad at you. Many questions. Questions for which I'm not really expecting answers. So all I can really do is move on. But before I do that, I would like to really show you the way the group debuted. This was literally like a couple years ago, bro. Katseye came onto the block with like strong is soft and their debut image, and this is what they were serving. Am I like low key? Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm actually kind of glad that Manon is nowhere to be found. And the more members of Katseye that can mysteriously go on hiatus, the better. Someone in chat said I miss Touch era. Yeah, no, this also seems like a great time to bring up the Katseye choreographer. A lot of this strange choreo that you're seeing, he's been with them for a while, is my understanding, would be courtesy of, oh, wait, hold on, I wrote down his name. Grant Gilmore. Yeah, okay. Would be courtesy of Grant Gilmore, whose personal take on dance I can only describe as idiosyncratic, I think is the nicest way I can put this. But yeah, not only do I want Katseye to be freed from brain rot producers putting porn audio in their tracks, I want them to be free. I want them to be free from the clutch. I want them to be free from the clutches of Grant Gilmore and whatever it is he's having them do, because what the actual helly is that? And there's literally, would you believe this man has shooters? ID posting his frenetic, unpredictable, unmistakable take on dance has made him ops and admirers all over the internet. Some think he's a genius, some think he's obnoxious. People are saying like he's contributed more to dance culture than any of you. His choreo made everyone look past their music. I still hit the gnarly dance. You can hate, but he's employed. Someone in chat said I'm his #1 defender. Y'all don't get the vision. Allow me to continue not getting the vision in peace. I guess what I'm saying, more so than Gilmore being terrible or their image not making sense, I just want to see what any of the members of Katseye would do free from Hype and Geffen's influence. I was always that person who was like, oh, I want to hear Jonghyun's solo work. And then I wind up falling in love with She Is, which is like, that was a deep cut and that probably made no sense to half of you, but that was real for me. I always like to see what people do when it's a bit less collaborative because sometimes certain influences wind up in the brainstorm session that simply have baffling results, is how I feel about that. But someone said I want to see a drag queen do the choreo. That would eat, actually. That would eat down. Someone said the Gabriella dance is chef's kiss. Yeah, and I'm not trying to like dismiss any of Gilmore's positive contributions. Choreo's hard work, and I don't know anything about it. This probably is impressive for reasons I don't understand. I just wild, man, wild. Reading chat. Someone said ball knowledge. I have a little bit of ball knowledge. I gave up keeping up with K-pop a long time ago, but I didn't hate the time that I was there. Anyways, right here I have this statement from the girls. Katseye says, "We stand by Sophia and Mano amid their hiatuses. We write for them, actually." They were asked, like, two of the group members are not here today in an interview. Sophia and Mano. We understand that they're taking care of themselves. Have you been able to talk to them? How are they doing? And Laura said, as Katseye, it's so important to us to always prioritize our well-being. We stand by Sophia and Mano through and through. We ride for them. We love you guys. I just... Now, before I get to my conclusion question, I would like to ask, I'll open the floor back up to like, is there anything else now that we want to discuss? Because my core points, honestly, despite any of the drama between group members, which may or may not be a real thing, I find Hybe and Geffen distasteful for launching this entire thing, having children compete like the Hunger Games for a place in a group in which they have now been exploited and overworked, where multiple members are struggling with their mental and physical health. I have found it really distasteful how everything spirals into fan wars based off of speculation about things that we literally do not know. I have found it pretty appalling how slowly but surely their image has been pushed further and further into the sexualized objectification as the very last one turns 18, and finally we're getting their most wildly... I just don't want to see 18-year-olds doing all this. The brain rot versus the fact that they actually genuinely do have talent. All of this has been my core thesis. I know for sure that there's like other ways I could have taken this, but I just wanted to say, is there anything else you think are like major key points of this? Someone said bring out the Etsy witches. We're gonna have a documentary in a few years. It's funny, they already have, I think, a new one I saw while I was researching all this, Katseye Wild Hearts or something. I'm like, we need an actual real documentary that shows the problem here. Someone said I agree with your points. Thank you, I appreciate that. Someone said, didn't they not even know it was a competition until way later in the show? Yeah, we covered that. They got tricked. It was pretty ugly. Someone said, did you say just turned 18? Yeah, that video I was, with all of that going on, one of the members literally turned 18, like, within the year. Reading chat. Someone said, I hope they get away from the management producers. I would have to agree with you. Let's talk about Mano's hiatus. We did. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, we covered that. Someone said, I don't think there's anything else major. Yeah, I don't. Someone said by not letting them sing, the entertainment is literally silencing them. Well, I think all of their answers are very PR, like, assembled beforehand. I don't think they have as much freedom as I would want for them. Someone said my cousin's obsessed with Katseye and it's actually so scary since she's 10. Bro, that's wild. That's wild. Someone said I agree with this focus topic and thesis. Okay, great. I'm gonna give a disclaimer, or my conclusion disclaimer, and then record an outro. And then I want to have like a little bit of a talk about this though, because this was a very interesting experience. In conclusion, I think my main question is, who is this for? It's actually baffling and completely improbable that anybody wants me to believe Katseye is for adults. They have a lot of adults who support them and enjoy the music, and that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just genuinely want to know why Hybe and Geffen are acting like it's suddenly normal to obviously cultivate this very young fan base through key moves like the Brain Rot songs and all of this, when you could be making more serious music but are unwilling to, and then suddenly flip the script like this. And it all just conveniently aligns with the members aging up and all of that. When I think about the answer to the question, who is this for? I hate every single possible configuration of that. So maybe I'm just going to stop thinking about it. And we can move on from that. Everybody say goodbye. Don't leave yet because we're still going to talk. Everybody say goodbye. I'm going to drink some water and I'll record an outro. Anyway, if you wanted the cut of this video that was more focused on what the actual girls themselves have done and their sort of dramas or speculation, I think there's enough people online doing this. I really do. And forgive me for just wanting to villainize, well, the massive companies that are overseeing this and allowing them to take the brunt of this discourse. Because really, I feel like those are the people we should maybe have more smoke for. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Katseye. Hopefully you never have to think about them again. I know I will certainly try not to. And yeah, I actually recorded this video live right here on YouTube, where I stream quite frequently. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Unless, of course, I don't, in which case I'm probably just, I don't know, sleeping. But yeah, hopefully I catch you in the next stream or the next video. And if not, that doesn't matter at all. Okay, bye. Okay, I'm going to stop recording. So that's what the comment section is gonna be like, bro. Hot damn. I suffered through 4 Katseye music videos and documentary discourse and all of these timelines to try to make a point about Hybe and Geffen. And probably when this video goes up, I'm just going to get hit with people dropping paragraphs about how Sophia or Daniela or Lara or Manon or actually any of these girls is like a bigger problem than I gave them credit for. Hot damn. I'm going to drink some water. Someone says She Is mentioned D'Angelo Your Mind. She is a great song, great visual, great concept, perfect execution. Jonghyun was truly something special. Someone said, yeah, don't read the comments. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna not read them. I definitely think I don't always not read them. Reading comments is how I learned about updates, unfortunately, to some of the things I've talked about. But like, I don't know, maybe someone said this video is going to be pushed in all the Crazy Stance homepages. Well, hopefully they don't have anything to take away from it, because I don't think you can use this video to like hate any of the members. I don't know, man. I really don't. Reading chat. Someone said it's just as bad trying to discuss Katseye as it is with New Jeans. Okay, New Jeans I'm extra ignorant about. I don't even know what's going on there or why they... I knew it's like weird management stuff and contracts and there's no more music, which is sad because I kind of liked New Jeans' music. It was fun. Someone said the kid's slime product placement in this music video is definitely a choice. Yeah, no, dude, an ad for slime, you know who that's targeted to. That's just so beyond weird for sure. Someone said the first controversial video. Well, you know what? At the end of the... trust me, this is not my first controversial video. At the end of the day... Here, I'll tell you what my most controversial video was. I once put up a video, which is still publicly available, in which I said I didn't think Mr. Beast was that bad. If you've ever wondered how I remain calm under pushback, even in a live setting, if you ever see me talking about things and you see the chat going fast and you're like, wow, he doesn't seem very bothered that people seem to be heating up or whatever, nothing will ever match the pushback I got with my stupidest take that I had ever put online, which was I just didn't think because here's the thing. In the beginning of this channel, I wasn't really doing research to that extent. I'm pretty sure most of my videos were literally like 10 minutes long, and I was just shooting hot takes, like moist critical. That's kind of how I thought of the channel. And it was this cringe back and forth. It wasn't back and forth, but like Jacksepticeye had said something about Mr. Beast, and I unnecessarily chimed in and was like, well, he does, like, you know, I really fell for all the talking points. I was like, well, I don't think it's that bad. Like, people win money and it's just like a game show or whatever. And oh my God, it was a pretty bad take. To be fair, I wasn't trying to be inflammatory, and my video absolutely came out before the brunt of the Mr. Beast controversy. Someone said, tell me you changed your mind. Well, yeah, I do. In fact, the thing that I think I had said actually, it wasn't that Mr. Beast wasn't that bad. I said I disagreed with the idea that he ruined YouTube, because I was looking at it as literally like an analytics type thing, and it was just a bad take. So yeah, I actually sometimes do actually have genuinely bad takes because I'm just one person. So yeah, don't worry. If you ever see people popping off, I just stop and try to get to the bottom of it. And obviously everyone explaining like, oh no, these are the myriad reasons why Mr. Beast is actually bad and Jacksepticeye was correct and this take of yours is crazy. Then I learn and I move on. So yeah, it's pretty hard to shake me at this point. I would have to get something super duper wrong that like shakes my worldview, but nah, bro, people be getting heated. People be getting heated as hell. Someone said W for D'Angelo for looking back and realizing that take wasn't good. I mean, we should always be doing that though. So many of my takes were just cringe because really, you get a mix of opinion and fact. For me, it's 95% opinion based off of 5% of facts, and sometimes I draw the wrong conclusions. I really, really do. But ever since I made a mistake of that caliber a couple years ago, in which I just felt so stupid in a way that haunts me, I try to be a lot more mindful of why people say things instead of just dismissing them or whatever. And so I'm still fairly confident in this katseye video. I think it's fine. I don't think I'm ignoring. I don't know what people are going to say. But I think if there's anything for me to catch flack over, a girl group that I don't even listen to is fine. I don't think that's hurting anybody. I don't want to catch flack over things where I'm like, I'm getting facts about someone's life wrong, or I'm spreading bigotry, racism, misogyny in some way. I don't think I'm doing that. I also, just for a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? For a little bit of context, I'm usually pretty slow to jump on a train at this point of everyone like agreeing that any I'm just gonna say it just because I feel like this might help some of y'all understand where I come from with my stuff. But anytime I see a lot of people hating any woman online, I double check. And I just make sure, honestly, that there's no possibility of this just being some sort of rooted in misogyny thing, because again, also contributing to the Blake Lively stuff, which that's a little more complex. Blake Lively did the things that I talked about in there, the plantation wedding, the transphobic comments, those things should be called out. But then of course, finding out after the fact that this information was being floated around on purpose, specifically because a PR firm was paid to start a hate campaign against her. That doesn't mean I wasn't participating in it just because I was saying things that were also correct. So when I see people who have been embattled like this, like the members of katseye, these girls, women, since they were girls, now women, have literally been catching flack and hatred online the entire time. And some of it does smack of being for the wrong reasons. Even if you have your reasons and that's not why you're participating in it. I'm just telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, it's really, really bad. Online chat. It's really, really bad. I didn't pull a single take or post for my video from the Katseye Snark subreddit, but it just kept coming up again and again and again, and I hate. Someone said a lot of the hate is unwarranted. Like, why are you mad at a member for having straight eyebrows? Yeah. Yeah. Like, one thing that people get mad at, is it Daniela's eyebrows that they're so mad about? Daniela eyebrows. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. One of the things, actual on God literal criticism that I see sometimes is like, oh, we also hate the way they dress. We also hate they bleached Daniela's brows and all of this. It's so ugly or weird or whatever. And I just, when in order to get to the bottom of some sort of interpersonal dispute, I would have to go to the same pages that are complaining about this woman's eyebrows. Forgive me for just opting out of the conversation entirely because I didn't even really feel like it was relevant to the point. Someone says she looks great though, but she literally does. Also, like, y'all hate anything that is like mildly alternative. This I would describe as like kind of a more of a high fashion thing. You see it on runways a lot, or at least that's where I got my inspiration for my bleach brow. But yeah, no, people are just really, 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 really bad. They're really bad online about this kind of thing. And then, yeah, it's just, it's such an ugly feeling, honestly. I'll never, ever, someone said I'm confused. It's Katseye messed up with stream about the fans. I already stopped the main topic. It's about Hype and Geffen being the bad guys, but now I'm just talking about the way some people are reacting to me not covering group drama. I don't know how to explain how it feels when like you made a video and you contributed in some way to like hate and that wasn't your intention at all. So that's just why I kind of skipped it, bro. But yeah, I feel the need to stand up for myself a little bit and be like, I still did research, and if I flubbed anything, it was because I was human, not because I was being lazy for this video. It was a creative decision to not talk about the things about Katseye that I just don't think matter. Because also, why am I I hate to bring age into it, but like, I'm on God too old to be worried about what they doing on their Instagram. Someone says Snark Reddits are the same people just exerting themselves to be negative. It's wild as hell. Someone said, D'Angelo, would you consider re-uploading your Jumageddon video essays? I would have to re-edit them first, and I don't know, maybe someday. So I can't stand people who judge others' clothing or style/hair. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't even have the right to judge anybody's hair or clothing style because I'd be looking crazy as hell. But yeah, I agree that people get way too hung up on things that don't matter at all. Eyebrows come back, guys. Hair grows out usually. Clothes can be changed. These aren't reasons to get in your feelings, but people really, strong feelings, strong opinions. Someone in chat said it's bringing me profound peace to hear someone say there's absurdly disproportionate misogynistic reactions to even slightly alternative presentations. Well, yeah, actually, it goes pretty far beyond that. I'm in the alt community. Cringe. And I don't think that this is a problem in the alt community. I think it's a problem outside of the community. Y'all are disgusting and trashy when it comes to alt women. You really are. Anytime I see any person like dye their hair super dark black or wear anything that could be construed as goth or do something fun with her eyebrows, and immediately, if it gets into the wrong comment sections, people will go one of two directions, where they will either start calling you ugly to the point of obviously dehumanizing you and being like, how absolutely dare you make any change to yourself out of your comfort that made me find you less attractive. People are so hateful towards women who have piercings or the wrong hair color or they did something with their makeup. It's just ugly and cringe. Or the things that these women in the alt community are doing, actually the people commenting do find them attractive, and then it starts turning into, oh, goth mommy, big you know what, goth girlfriend, oh, credit card, come sit on. It's genuinely disgusting. It's actually really, 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 really gross. And that's a double standard I'm aware of. when I like do something alt with my brows or my clothing or whatever, I get the luxury of mostly people just saying like, wow, that's super cool. And I'm like, yeah. But then I turn around and see other people do the same thing. And you're like, oh, we're going to literally call her ugly because she did something that made her less attractive to us. Or we're going to sexualize her to a degree that is so incredibly like disturbing. So yeah, But I don't think that's us. It's not us in the alt community doing this. I feel we are mostly accepting. When I see people do cool things, I'm like, that's cool. It's people outside of this. I need to like, y'all need to understand. And I mean this so deeply. When I say y'all, I'm not talking about you guys in the chat. You seem to be agreeing with me. The world needs to understand. People make decisions irrespective of you as a person. That's the main pushback that I run into. Even me, any of the changes I make, a lot of the questions I get offline are from people wanting to know, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would I think about you before doing it? Why would I ever stop and worry about what somebody else is going to think about something I'm doing with my body before doing it? That literally doesn't make sense. But for some reason, people seem to genuinely believe that like, oh, well, it's women wearing clothes or doing their makeup or their hair or piercings or whatever. They must be doing this, obviously, because of my opinion. So I have to let them know that it's either sexy or ugly. And I'm just like, you guys got to log off, bro. You guys got to log off. You're genuinely thinking that other human beings exist for your actual consumption. Log off forever. But yeah, I have strong feelings about this kind of thing. I don't like share them usually because it's not relevant to the things I'm talking about, but I see it happen, bro. I see it happen. Someone said people think everything is about them, which is crazy. It's wild. How is me shoving metal through my nose about your feelings? It's not about your feelings. That's not why I did it. I don't care about what y'all think at all. I don't know. I love me a compliment, like, thanks, but like, it's also fine if you don't like it. Neither is that important in the grand scheme of things. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Someone said I cut off all my hair the other day. I was asked why, and I said it's just hair. I feel so much better. That's the thing too, is like, even if people were reacting so strongly and these changes that people were making were a big deal, maybe I would understand it more, but it's literally just hair. It's just eyebrows. It's just makeup, guys. It's just a piercing. It's just a tattoo. It's just clothing. Like, what? These things are on the very outside of us. They don't dictate our worth or whether we deserve to be spoken to respectfully. So yeah, people are just really goofy about that. Someone says it's literally the bean soup theory. It very much is. Like, oh, here am I looking a certain way, and somebody's like, oh, what if I don't like the way that looks? Then I don't know. Log off, close the tab. Hot damn, bro. They really be like that. It really do. Some appearance really does not matter. Everyone's looks change over time regardless. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, don't go holding on to this stuff when at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's literally temporary as hell. And when people ask me, what about when you get older? I'll be like, I guess I'll be older with some tattoos. I guess I'll be older with some holes in my lip or something. I don't know. I think I fear I would have larger problems than, oh no, when I was younger, I had fun doing silly things. I don't know about that one, buddy. Someone said your body's a temple. Yeah, well, temples have art. Oh yeah, people are always saying like to the tattoo thing. They're like, oh well, you wouldn't put a bumper sticker on a Lamborghini. Can I say something really ugly? This is actually a bad take, but I'm going to say it anyway. As somebody who can't afford to put a bumper sticker on a Lamborghini. You wouldn't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari or a Lamborghini because you can't afford to do that. I can. I could put whatever I want on the outside of this vehicle. So worry about your own car and let me do whatever it is I want to do. Now, I say this like metaphorically. I also literally cannot afford a Lamborghini. I promise you guys, yes, I'd be making bank, which I'm appreciative of. Not Lamborghini money though. But yeah, like I honestly, that's how I feel. When people are like, oh, you wouldn't put it on the Lamborghini. No, you wouldn't because you can't. You wouldn't because you cannot get away with that. I can do whatever it is I want to do and will continue to do such. Thanks for the input. That's how I feel. Personally. Someone said also my body's not the car. And also my body's not a gosh darn car. It's my thing that belongs to me. Oh my god. And someone said you wouldn't put a Lambo in your pristine driveway. Someone said who can buy a Lambo in this economy? I could rent a Lambo. I think it would be the silliest thing for me to do. But if it was really important to me to drive a Lamborghini, I'm sure I could pull it off. I just imagine leaving your house. I don't want to do that. I really, really don't want to leave my house. Someone said, what are we even talking about right now? Oh, we're literally just ranting. You know how I be. I think I was just decompressing after a very interesting stream. It was a very interesting stream. Someone said you wouldn't download a Lamborghini. I said this before. They'd be like, you wouldn't download a car. You're right. I would download the entire dealership. Support piracy. Pirate everything. Pirate this video. I don't care. Bubba. Someone said, I thought you were going to say you have a Lambo. Yeah, definitely don't. I mean, I also don't even really like Lamborghinis, to be honest. Hold on. Lamborghini. Wait, I'm probably spelling this incorrectly. Wow, I spelled that correctly. Okay. Yeah, this is not like it's very pretty as a concept, obviously. I don't know. I don't feel inspired to like sit in this. I don't know if that makes sense. This is more the kind of thing I see it on the street and I'm like, wow, that's cool. That person has a Lamborghini. And then I go on throughout my day and I never think about it ever again. Not even once. I don't know. I guess when you own a vehicle like this, you get some sort of perpetual joy from it. But I really only get the joy once. I get it one time and then it's just over. And what can I do after that? Someone says it looks like that Target dog. Oh, man. Target, if only you were not a terrible, terrible corporation. Because they have good clothes at Target. That's the thing that I miss the most about Target. I know that we're boycotting them, and I literally am too, because they absolutely suck with their like rollback of DEI initiatives while simultaneously trying to share like oh, we're selling clothes for Pride Month and Black History Month, but we're also rolling back DEI because we're capitulating to this conservative environment that we're in. Sadly, though, they do make good clothes. I'm not going to be walking around wearing some Goodfellow in the year of our Lord 2026. That's actually crazy. But I miss that. The good news is you can find clothes elsewhere. Target's not the only store that exists, but damn, it really be like that. It really, really do. Someone said Target used to be so awesome, like back in the late 90s and early 2000s. They're pretty sad, honestly. But also, what company isn't? It's sad. Someone said I miss the swimwear and travel refill section. Yeah, hitting a Target before you had like a trip to go on literally ate. It really did. Someone said they make okay clothes. The quality is average for the price. Yeah, I mean, even at that, I'm probably just filtering it through like nostalgia. Goggles, honestly, it was probably just okay. Someone in chat said Katseye has a Target exclusive for their album. How fitting. Bring back Kmart. What literally happened to Kmart? Why did Kmart disappear? I feel like I was like 3 or 4 and I remember my mom telling me like, oh yeah, that Kmart's going out of business. But maybe I have that timeline all wrong, or I'm just hallucinating that memory and I'm not even old enough for that to be true. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Someone said private equity really sucked the fun out of everything, huh? Yeah. Oh, okay, now it's getting sad. Someone said everything from my childhood just faded away. Okay. Yes. Or you know what really faded away? My limited understanding of the world. That's what I lost. It's not necessarily that things have become worse, even though things have become worse in some ways. I just had such a limited childlike and beautiful understanding of the world, but I was wrong. When I was a child, I was incorrect about how so many things worked, and that's why I thought everything was beautiful all the time. But now I know the truth, and that's fine. Just means I gotta go find the beauty. I gotta go find the beauty where it's at. How about that? And someone said I miss Toys R Us. Oh my god, I don't think I've been to Toys R Us in a solid 20 years. That's crazy. That is crazy. Someone said everything in my childhood turned into gray and white buildings that support genocides. Yeah, like, yikes. It really, really do be like that. Someone said I actually kind of miss Ronald McDonald. Yeah, I don't know. I think nostalgia's fine. It just, you don't have to turn around and pay money because you're feeling it. You know, hint, hint, Harry Potter. That's how I feel about that. It's a childhood memory. I'm not trying to take those away from you because you can't take mine. They had like little Ronald McDonald animations. Do you guys know about those? Ronald McDonald animations. They were on VHS. Yeah, the Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald, I think. Yeah. This is literally a VHS. It was probably a VHS exclusive. And I had a few of these. We had Ronnie McDonnie out here. Like, it was a few featurettes that they made. I guess they had Scared Silly. I don't remember that one. Have Time Will Travel. I feel like I maybe vaguely remember this one. I don't know. All of this was manipulation, obviously. Yeah, but it did work on me at the time, yes. It really, really did. Someone said, you guys, I was promised flying cars in my 20s. Yeah, and what did we get instead? Cybertrucks. Yay. Someone said this art style. The art style is fun. I remember when everything used to look like this. And I'm not exaggerating. I remember when everything used to look like this. Does anybody remember this? Like, if you were ever given if you're my age and anyone ever gave you a coloring book, or you ever turned on like TV, or you watched some sort of like low budget animation, everything was in this art style with this kind of font and these like garish colors, which I do have a soft spot for in my heart. That was literally like the style for some reason, and I don't know why, but I wasn't mad at it. Someone said the Make Bling era. Oh yeah. Someone said giving As Told by Ginger. It was very that. Yes, all the cartoons from that era had a specific look to them, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, it's literally just nostalgia talking about. I think it's lit. Someone said it's like Klasky Supo style. Okay, I might have mispronounced that, but I'm gonna look into that though, because it would be nice to know. And you know what everything wants to look like now? When it comes to cartoon illustrations. Yay! I mean, obviously, like, kids' cartoons look different, but I think seeing the dominant, like, corporate cartoon art style go from literally this wacky stuff, they would literally just draw, like, little avatars and put them in, like, brand stuff back then. But now, whenever you see that, you get this sort of corporate Memphis style, which I have no idea how this is somehow not dead. Because I genuinely thought, ever since we named this so long ago, obviously, wrong one. That would be the first step into making it go away. But for some reason, we still do this. And you know, if you're somebody who like makes art like this, I don't blame you. I actually don't think the art style is as bad as some people do. I just don't understand why companies act like we don't have more options, bro. Give me something else, please. Someone said I blame the advent of Adobe Illustrator. On God, please, no. Anything else. And someone said they gave it the curse. I can't say that YouTube channel name. They gave it the curse cassette treatment, but ugly. Yes, I like that channel's art style, and I'm sorry for that butchering. I struggle sometimes with consonants, but that's my fault, and I will do better. It really, really is. Someone said, I need whatever computer D'Angelo has with that many tabs open. Oh, the reason that I can just like tab, wait, sorry, that's kind of flashing lights. The reason I can just tab for days is literally because I use 2 different computers. So the thing that you're getting the stream from is not actually this is a separate computer, and I'm not using it to broadcast anything because I know that I tend to stress my computers out by having too many tabs open. The only tabs I actually have open on my streaming computer are OBS. So the only windows I have open are OBS and the chat, and that's all, because I don't want the stream going down, even if my other computer crashes. Someone said it's a German word, not your fault. Well, I can still try. I can still try for real. Someone said, I thought you said Curtis Connor. No, Curtis Connor is not an animated YouTube channel. The last time I checked, I don't know. Maybe Curtis found a new direction. Someone said, did I miss the katseye discussion? You did. And it was very interesting. But don't worry. I'm going to be putting out a video about it on Monday, and all will be revealed. All will be revealed. Someone said, where's your background from? It looks cool. This background? I think I downloaded stock footage off Motion Array, if I'm not mistaken. This is literally gonna sound like a ad or something. I think I searched like glitch, cybery type of thing, or I might have even purchased that background off of like Shutterstock or something like that. But I just went and looked for, did I put like city glitch. Okay, so I think it actually was not from Motion Array, but I went to a website like this and I paid for the background. I could probably find it. Glitch city stock footage. Let's see, image. Yeah, okay, so yeah, none of these are right, but as you see, it's very easy to get that sort of look. And then I basically took one of these and I just turned all of the colors to be pink to match the rest of my background or whatever. I probably should have written down wherever I got it from, but yeah. That's all. The reason I pulled it from a video instead of just a still was because I was supposed to have a an end screen this whole time. This was supposed to be the end screen that plays at the end of all of my videos. But I forgot to put it at the end of the first video. And so then I just gave up and no one ever saw it. But I think it's pretty cute. I think it's pretty fun. I think I did a good job producing the music, as I tend to do. One of my favorite hobbies. Someone said that sounds so pretty. Thank you. It's called Heaven by me, and I'm never releasing it. Probably never even finishing it, unfortunately. I am so bad when it comes to actually wrapping my tracks up. Someone said it's so good. I appreciate it. I like that whenever I play my music. Y'all see the vision with it, you know, because I'd be doing a lot with the music, honestly, but I think it comes together well in the end. You gotta trust the vision. My songs are gonna take you somewhere, and it's like, whoa, where are we going? Just wait till you get there. It'll all make sense someday. Someone said you produced it. Yes, I did. I produced it in Ableton Live, my favorite doll. No AI. That's not producing. That is stealing. So yes, I made it myself. Someone said, how long are your tracks usually? Well, my intro track is 5 minutes long, and that is long. For me, that's such a long track. But most of the songs that I actually finish, they come in at, I think, 2.5 to 3.5 minutes is usually my sweet spot for a song. Anything longer than that, and I really have to make sure I have a reason, which is why I like my intro track, because it literally goes like this. It has waves to it and stuff. And anything too short, it just makes me mad because I'm just like, it's not finished. So yeah, 2.5 to 3.5 minutes, I love as like the length of a track, but I don't try to force a length. So if a song just wants to be 2 minutes and 18 seconds, or if it wants to be 4 minutes and 45 seconds, I'll just let it happen. It is what it is, honestly. Someone says, so chill, great vibes. I didn't know you secretly made awesome music too. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, not all of my music is chill. I also have my like insane experimental noise that I produce sometimes because I wouldn't even know where to put this. I don't know. I've played this track for you before. If you happen to be here at that one time, this isn't going to be new for you. But like, I have ADHD, and I think the vast majority of the time I just view music as an extension of that. So yes, I show you guys the chill music, but a lot of my music sounds like this. And yes, I am interpolating imagination. Come with me, you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Like, it's just like brain squeegee music, you know? Just like getting really in the cranium with like a window cleaner. My goal with music is usually to erase your ability to think about anything else. And people don't like that. So I don't post it anywhere because I'm like, wow, that sounds really good to me. But I think most people are just going to think this is noise. I have a lot of chiller tracks though. So whenever I make something for you guys, like, you know, my starting soon screen, I bring it down like 5, 6, etc. notches, and then I feel like it's the perfect sweet spot. But yeah, I love going crazy, going stupid. I really do. Someone said this feels like my brain when it's a good day. That's what I try to like engender with my music. Is like I wanted to feel like the inside of my head when I'm thinking clearly, because that's actually what it sounds like. It really is. Someone said there's a huge market for that. Oh, trust, I know. Most of the music I sound like, or most of the music I listen to sounds like that. I'm a big like chain remover underscores type. Some like the things like Danny Brown would feature on, usually you can catch me listening to, and that joint can be noisy as hell. It really can. Some sort of program to use Ableton Live. Very well, no, it's not easy. I was gonna say it's easy. That's not true. Don't use Ableton. Use FL Studio or even something easier than that. Someone said, can I commission you for outro music if I ever start doing long form videos again? No, because I won't deliver it, unfortunately. Is anybody here an artist who really struggles with commissions? Because at the end of the day, executive dysfunction sometimes is just gonna win. That's me. I used to happily be like, yeah, commission me for art, commission me for music. I'll produce that track for you. I'll illustrate this for you. Yeah, I'll do that. Just pay me. And then unfortunately, I realized that not even being paid was enough to actually overcome the level of dysfunction that was preventing me from accomplishing that. So nowadays, I say, no, do not get me to agree to do anything for you because it's not going to happen. Someone said, you're so real, dog. I had to be really honest with myself after the 3rd, 4th, 5th time where I had to be like, oh, sorry, actually keep all of your money because I'm really really ill. I have a really intense mental health condition, a neurodevelopmental disorder, and that's not your fault, and I don't want you to have to wait for this forever. Yikes. Yikes. So I've been asked for commissions before. Now I always reject them. Always, 100% of the time. I don't even consider them. Even if I think it's a good idea and I could easily do it, I just say no. I literally just say no. Someone said, so real. If I don't have the freedom to come back to a piece whenever I want, it won't get done ever. It's very much a timeline, deadline thing for me, where my brain, I struggle, baby. I struggle. Oh, and speaking of that, I would like to talk about something. So this actually makes me really sad. It's not a big deal. I realize I'm sounding really dramatic right now. Nothing has happened and everything is good and nothing's changing. Truthfully, chat, there's just been a lot going on in the world and also my personal life. Part of me wants to say like, oh, there's been a lot going on in my personal life, but the truth of the matter is every single person I know has a lot going on in their personal life currently, actually more than usual. My mom, my friends, me, people I barely know anything about because we're like light acquaintances. I know that they're going through it right now. People are everywhere I look. Everybody just seems to be going through it more than usual. And I'm not like exempt from that. And there's just, there's so many things happening. And unfortunately, I literally thought I would have more time outside of the videos that I'm giving you to like work on other things. So I came into this like Love Island video super excited about it, and I am literally still working on it because it would really suck to lose the work that I've done for this. But like I was floating, I'm gonna get it done by the reunion. That's definitely not gonna happen. And the truth of the matter is it's gotten to the point where I'm honestly just lucky I'm able to keep up with the content that I usually do. I started feeling really, really pressured of like, oh my God, I have to keep up with these videos, and I'm working on this longer video that I told everyone about, which I'm going to keep working on for as long as I want to. But yeah, oh my God, it's literally the grace of somebody that I have been able to do my job. Like the rest of, we're all doing our job and keep up with 14 videos a month, 3 videos a week, 3 streams a week. That has been the bare minimum. I guess that's what I've realized. I am not currently in a spot in my life anymore where I can do more than the bare minimum, which is sad because I was for a second. I was so wildly productive and I was really happy about it. I was doing crazy things in the background. But yeah, I had to be more honest with myself. Like, dude, I'm about to crash out actually. So yeah, bare minimum D'Angelo over here. I hope you enjoy the content that you're getting. There probably won't be anything more than that for now, which is okay. And if you are in a similar spot where you're like, damn, I did my job today and a chore or two, and I hopefully drank all my water and ate all my food, but I don't really think I can do anything else. There's something in the air. I think there's genuinely something in the air. I'm in low power mode right now, and it's okay. I'm taking the content that I'm putting out very seriously, which is why I have not missed a video, which is why I feel happy with the things we've been talking about. But I think this has to be my main project for right now, for real. Someone said, please take a break when you need to. I will for sure. Thankfully, I don't feel burned out, but I realized I was going to be burned out if I continued trying to juggle one big video and also a bunch of smaller videos every single week. It wasn't working out for me, even though it was at one point. I think that's maybe one of the things that I struggle with the most when it comes to productivity while simultaneously balancing like my energy as a neurodivergent person or a person with his own disorders and stuff like that, is like Does anybody experience like a kind of grief when you shift back into a less functional version of yourself? It makes me sad every time. It makes me really, really sad. And I thought you would think that you would be old enough to not be sad over this when it happens for like the 500th time, where you're on a high and you're literally like, oh my God. It's almost like I don't even have ADHD, because like literally the medication and the therapy is collaborating so hard right now to turn me into what feels like a quote unquote normal person. And then when something goes wrong, then I suddenly start feeling like, oh, that was never real. I have to remind myself normal is a horrible word, and that's not something that I can ever be, really. And it's not less than when I am really productive or when I'm not as productive. So I've actually been trying to be really proud of my response to this and not be sad over like, this is a normal thing that happens. Sometimes I just can't do as much as I can other times. Someone said now I have to start all over again. But that's the thing. You don't. That's the thing that I'm reminding myself. Progress is literally not linear. So if you went like this, you didn't lose anything. It was bound to happen. It was gonna happen to you. And this is all well and good. This is within your control, and you do not have to start over, even though it feels that way for sure. But yeah, I hate that up and down so much, bro. I think if you could take away anything from I don't think I've ever said this out loud, not even in therapy, but I actually think there's only one thing I want somebody to take away from like my mental health conditions. Because like, you could take away the condition itself, but that's not something I've ever asked the universe for. I want the instability taken from me. You could literally, if it's so important for plot reasons that I actually am neurodivergent or have depression or whatever, you could leave me with all of that. But please don't give me this up and down, because that's the thing that really, really gets on me more than anything. I'm not really that sad about being a sad person sometimes. I'm not really that upset that I have this neurodevelopmental thing. It's not, I don't view that as less than, and I can handle that. But what is just so incredibly hard for me to handle is like, bro, get me off this carousel, bro. Like, just literally spinning like a merry-go-round. And I'm just like, can you please stop the ride? Can you stop the ride? Not because I'm not like having I don't want to leave the park. That's the thing. I used to want to leave the amusement park entirely. This is a metaphor for really dark things. I used to, being so sick of being stuck on this merry-go-round, want to leave the park entirely. I was over it. I was done. I couldn't see the beauty. My eyes were just spinning. Nowadays, I've gotten a little bit older. I simply wish to step off the ride sometimes. I actually quite like this park. I think there's a lot of really annoying people here, and I think there's a lot of terrible rides that aren't fun at all. But I'm okay being in the park. I understand. There's the other parks are too far away. So this is the one for me. It's not that I want to leave the park. I just don't want to be on this damn merry-go-round every single day. That's how I feel. Someone says stop the ride, but I don't want to leave the park. This is such a nice metaphor. Yeah, that's, and I'm glad I've evolved from somebody who was trying to just drive away from the park entirely, because that was really dark and that wasn't ever going to be good for me. But yeah, catch me being a little bit bitter of like, wow, some of these other rides seem more fun than the merry-go-round. If we all have to be on the park, why couldn't I be on like, I don't know, like a really slow like train? I would have preferred that. Or like take the scenic route. Not this. Thank you. No, thank you. Someone said, I hope in my next life I'm a pigeon, like a pet pigeon, or someone's extremely loved crusty white dog. To be a loved pet would be so wonderful. That would be nice, actually. Sometimes I'm over this ride. I'm very much over it. Sometimes I call this ride the club. We all have our own ride, our own club, our own amusement park, our own whatever it is for you. You got to figure out where you fit in there, for real, for real. But anyways, someone said, you're seriously so good at explaining these things in an eloquent way and with fun metaphors. Why, thank you. I think about these things all the time. I'm a certified navel gazer. I'm introspective, but not in a way that's actually smart. That's a sad thing. You would think that you would be in your head for 27 years and then come out of this with some sort of deeper understanding. But actually, I just came out of this angry. I think about myself all the time and like, why am I like this and why do people react to me this way? And it didn't teach me anything. There's no lesson to learn. There's really no metaphor. But it's nice knowing I'm not the only person who feels that way. That's it. At the end of the day. The great lie of depression is that you're the only person experiencing it, and anything that dissuades me from that makes me feel so much better. It makes me feel so much better. Like, it's not just me, and it can get better. We were in a book club recently. I told you guys I was going to a book club, and it occurred, and it was really great. Everyone there was super lovely. But actually, one of our friends was there, and she said she was talking about how the characters in the book were going through some really dark stuff, obviously, and it was kind of sad because then the book just ends before they get better. And my friend, she said, try not to vomit when I say this, but it really does get better. And then we all laughed. We all laughed. It was a queer book club. Yeah, a bunch of gays and theys and everything in between. We were all just sitting there, and we laughed when she said that because I feel like we were also all in a similar age range. She's right. It does kind of make you want to vomit, like thinking about it. Like, ew, what do you mean it gets better? That's the least helpful thing that you could ever say. But like, actually, it kind of does. Even though it pisses me off, it really does get better. And it was nice to share that moment with everyone and be like, yeah, I guess everyone was right, kind of. I mean, you're still wrong, but they're kind of right. Kind of right. Someone said, I love a queer book club. Oh yeah, the vibes there were super nice, actually. Someone said, I hope it gets better. It really, really does and will. Someone said, what book? It was for Detransition Baby, which is a book by Tori Peters. Very fascinating novel. It's not anti-trans. I know the title of it is like very, what's the word I'm looking for? Provocative, but Tori Peters is a trans woman writing about trans experiences. Someone said we get better at dealing. Yeah, it gets more possible. I think you can't necessarily land me on it getting better, but I would be all fingers down for it does get less impossible to exist in this world as you get older. Sometimes if you're fortunate enough, and most of us can be. Oh man, it's a mess. It's absolutely a mess. Someone said, I'm reading it now. Oh, I hope you're enjoying it. Someone said one of my friend's younger brother chose the name Ames for his name as a man. Nice. Oh yeah, I could see that book being inspirational. I actually really liked the character of Ames. I related to quite a bit. Someone said, do you have stream mods? Yes, we got multiple mods. I'm very hands off, which gives a very like chill vibe to the stream, but I got shooters. they sit and they wait to ban somebody. But no, actually, I think my mods are quite fair for the most part. Oh man. Someone said, from a very weird way, it did get less impossible. It really did. I don't know how, but I'm not mad about it, I guess. Someone said like it gets better, but mostly because you learn to deal with it in a different way that sometimes works better for you as a 40-year-old. Yes. I think the thing is, when I was like 12 and people were trying to tell me it gets better because I was saying a bunch of really concerning things about my supposed longevity in this world, I needed them to give me an asterisk. I think everybody in my life was so afraid of the depths of my depression when I was younger that they didn't want to give me an asterisk after it gets better. They just left it at that. And I couldn't believe it. But I do genuinely feel like if you had told me it gets better, asterisk, and here's what I mean by that, I might have found that a little easier to believe. I literally could not believe that. And I'm like, what do you mean? How can it get better if I'm always going to be me? Explain that. And you are always going to be you, but there's some asterisks there. You're going to be a version of you that has more experience being yourself. You're going to have more time, which is actually a tool, and it's a repository that you can literally mine experiences from to help you get through new situations easier. There's so many asterisks after it gets better, and I don't think people want to talk about that. Someone said when the drugs kick in, oh yeah, also medication. Also medication and psychotherapy. Yeah, no, like, God, I needed some of those asterisks, bro, because I was just so angry at everybody. I was so mad. Someone said, that's so real, D'Angelo. I'm turning 30 next month, and when I was 12, I never imagined my life this far out, so proud of me this far. I am proud of you as well. Yeah, one thing that I feel like is like a really common thing, but I don't see people talk about too much outside of spaces where people maybe experience depression or whatever. Having no concept of yourself in the future. That was the problem. In fact, that was probably definitely one of the main things that was broken for me as a very young person. Literally ever since I was 4, I think. I didn't have the ability to imagine myself beyond like age 18. And then even as I would get older, that age would like slide back a little bit. I've talked about that before. But thankfully, I have, number one, surrounded myself with enough people who have experience and have helped me, support network, and also lived long enough that now I can sort of imagine myself a little bit easier in the future. I don't know. It's just so tricky, bro. It's so tricky. Someone said, I can't believe I made it to 25 and I'm looking forward to 26, even if I'm still struggling. I could not picture myself alive today. I struggle to see myself in the future, but I'm going to try. Literally just a year from now, it'll be easier. And then a year from now, it'll be easier. And then at some point, you know where I really crossed over that divide? And it really, really did click for me. I realized I was living in the future that I couldn't imagine. And I was fine. I think that happened to me when I turned maybe, I forget what exact age it was. Oh no, it was definitely 27. It was literally 27. Yeah, I'm turning 28, and when I turned 27, that's when I realized, like, wait a second. This was always just a big void in my self-perception, but I seem to be here, and I don't think my life ground to a complete halt, and I don't actually hate every single part of it. And from there, it has been easier to be like, well, I guess I'm gonna be 28. Womp womp. And it's something I actually accept now instead of freaking out about. It's so mess, man. So much mess. Absolute mess. I see people mentioning the Jason Arde situation. Actually, a pretty grim thing to pivot off after talking about it does get better. Yeah, I've been live for 3 hours and 2 minutes, but in the beginning of the stream, I did address that. I would say just go back to the beginning, but obviously I'm sorry to hear what happened, and I turned the ads off of the video. Actually, I didn't say this. I didn't say it at the beginning of the stream because I wanted to just make sure I was talking about Jason and not myself, obviously. But since we're sort of 3 hours past and I already kind of told you about that, I just want to say, like, it's never been more important to be careful, I guess, about what I'm doing. I don't know if that makes sense. Because, like, it would have just been so easy to like get swept up into the hatred of it all, the campaign against him and all of that. And every single topic that I cover has a version of discourse that leads to this as being the end result. I think, remember a few streams ago, some of you might have been there, when I said like underneath commentary, even though I think most people are talking about it for the right reasons, there is this undercurrent of people talking about things in a way that very heavily implies they just don't want the people they're talking about to be here anymore. I very strongly get that vibe off of like Snark Spaces and Kiwi Farms and weird places like that, where it's like, unfortunately, so much of commentary is like, let's literally just hound this person until they feel like they have no other recourse. And so when I did get that update to the story, I really had to stop and think about what was I doing and what did I say and why did I make that video? And I left it up because I went into it for reasons that I thought were right at the time. Obviously, that wasn't a component of the story, so I was talking about it because I felt people were being racist and I wanted to point that out. And I felt like, yeah, one person did something wrong, but trying to flip this into a black people are less than is wrong. And so that's all still up there. But I guess just then, kind of during the same stream, turning around into a discussion about, this is going to sound unrelated, but I really need you to work with me here. Turning around into a discussion about Katseye and 6 Go Group members and trying with kid gloves to really point around the edges of the obvious parts of the situation and steer really clear of the things that I don't know because they would involve a level of personal scrutiny that I feel like is an overstep. I didn't say it while people were bringing this up because I didn't want to like pull a really heavy topic and make everyone feel bad. But my first thought was like, this is why we got to be careful, low key, high key, no key. Like, I just don't want to put out a video where I'm like feeding into internet hate that is completely unwarranted or unjustified. And at the end of the day, if my two options are like accept the possibility of a narrative against someone based off of vibes or even real things, but I don't know, or just say I don't know, I'm gonna have to accept not knowing. Does that make sense? I didn't say it while I was recording my cat's eye video because, again, I just feel like that would have been too heavy and it would have seemed like I was deflecting. Not deflecting, I'm just saying I'm gonna get even more cautious about talking about things. And if everybody's saying, oh, this person is that, and they're saying they're not, and it's hard to like really prove one thing or another, or multiple things could be true, I'm just likely not going to pick a single thing as being true. And I wasn't doing that beforehand. I'm not going to do it after the fact, but that really reminded me, like, you just got to be careful. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to like make sense or land with the people that it needs to or anything like that. Or maybe I don't need to be saying any of this at all. And I'm literally just running my mouth for no reason. Someone said, oh, I'm late and D is distressed. I hope I'm not coming across as distressed because it's literally not, it's not about me per se. We have I don't know. It's just interesting. Someone said, can we pivot to something light and fun? This is also heavy and depressing. I mean, we were having fun for a second, but since somebody asked about the RDA thing, I wanted to bring it back up at the end of the stream too, just so you all know I am aware of the update. Someone said understandable. Yeah, no, nothing is perfect and nothing has, I don't know, everything has edges. And there's edges to the good that you can do by talking about something is maybe what this has made me think about. So I'll just keep thinking about it, honestly. I really will. But yeah, sorry. And I'm sorry to leave you with something heavy, but something heavy happened. It's the first time that I've seen this happen with something that I had literally just talked about. So sometimes you do have to have heavy conversations. And it's unfortunate that this had to be one of them. Worst possible ending. But yeah. Reading chat. Someone said, what about the diarrhea parasite going on? And see, low key, I'm not laughing about anything I just said. This is also why the internet is so jarring. Because, like, on God, it's not even easy to carve out spaces, like, long enough to properly think about things, because there's always something else going on. I'm not coming after you, chatter, at all whatsoever. I just think this is an example of sometimes how it feels being online, where it's like, okay, this really serious thing has happened, and then you swipe and it's like, oh, people are mad about a music video. And I'm like, the internet is super, like, a horrible place to have important discussions anyway, because there's always a distraction lurking around the corner. It's just a mess, man. It's really a mess. Some of the current timeline is insane. There's always something in this timeline, is how I feel. It's never enough, man. All the more reason to learn how to grow food and support local farmers, literally. But yeah, that's all I have for today. It was an interesting stream. And I'll reflect on it. I'll watch the video back. I'll see if it's any good. If not, we'll scrap it. But I think it's probably fine. I'll be more sane when I edit it, and we will just go from there. Thank you all. I appreciate it, and I will catch you all later.